Session is starting today. Thanks a lot for everyone being here on time. Let's kickstart in a few minutes. Before that, some of the basics checks. Hope my audio is good. You can see me well. All
yes.
right. Fantastic. Do anyone want to show your face? Show a smile in the morning. All right. We have a few of them. Piyush, what is your time there? Should be mid of the night?
Yeah, 12:30.
Man, early in the morning, right? 12:30 a.m.
12:30 a.m. Right.
Really appreciate your passion to learn. So when you're done with your course of PMP, should be 2
July.
weeks or 4? July. Oh, times run fast. July. Okay. Nice to know.
I joined the Tapel batch, finished in July.
Fantastic. Nice to know. All right. So we are Piyush, Gaurnath, Priya is there. Hey, hello, Priya. Hello, Gaurnath. Good to see some of you on the cam here. I know it's a morning hour. Some of you would not be ready. Shriram, I didn't comb my hair, man. I didn't put face lotion. That's okay. No issues. By the way, thanks a lot for everyone stepping up to learn something called Agile. Hey, Niranjan. Thanks. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Sriram.
We have a, hey, Ravi, after a long time. Look like you gained some weight. We have a reason to tell COVID season, so we have. But I believe the office are open now. Or
No,
still
work from home.
Work from home. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. I have people here and also have people some on YouTube. Thanks a lot for people joining from YouTube, LinkedIn, and a few more platforms. Agile is one good trending word. It's something like we have to have in our resume, or at least you have to talk about it. That is a trend now. So good that you step in to learn this. Let us take some few more steps to get depth knowledge about what is Agile, how it's going to be useful. We have a place of introduction to talk about why you chose this course or why you want to learn Agile or what you're doing right now. Okay, there is a platform where we have a place of a few minutes to talk about introduction. Not right now, a few minutes later. First thing, I want to welcome you all to this program called PMI-ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. So what does it mean? It means that you are a person who can speak Agile, only speak. No, you can think in Agile thought process. Shriram, what is Agile thought process? In sports, we look for agility, then a person is chosen for a team. When millions of people are practicing, millions of people want to be in a cricket, football, athletics, only few are chosen. It's not because of their birth ability. Of course, some things are birth ability. Apart from that, they look for something called agility. You know what is agility? And agility means how quickly you can have a reflex, respond, take feedback, and come out of it. That's agility in sports. If a person is running, they will see the twist and turn. In a football, how quickly you can stop, cut, and turn back. This is on the sports, they check out on your body reflex, how quickly your body can reflex. On top of that, when a feedback is given, how quickly you adopt it. Imagine somebody says, no, I won't take any feedback. I am what I am. That kind of person cannot grow faster. In cricket, you would see some people give a commentary. This person footwork is not good. And after 2-3 matches, a fourth match, this person has improved it. You could have heard those dialogue. If you say Mike Tyson has a punching ability, he would have got a lot of feedback, how to punch, how to cross attack the opponent. So this is called feedback taking nature. So why we talk all these stories here is you are here in this course to learn in project management how this agile thought is running in our mind, where I can stop, turn, take feedback, and improve as a whole. It's not improving one component, improving as a whole. So this PMI-ACP is one of the best certificate in the market. So why you are telling one of the best, Sriram? Why not the best? Yes, I can say the best because of its standard, because of the language, because of the coverage. But still, we have more certifications. Like we have CSM, Certified Scrum Master, which is specialized only on Scrum, which goes deeper there. but still not too deep because nothing more than 12 pages or 13 pages of content there. When you go to scaled agile, which talks agility at a broader level. If you talk to me maybe 8 years back, I would tell ACP is the only thing. But now what I'm telling is people have to learn few more certificates to tell yourself, I'm a good agile leader or agile manager, right? So in this, ACP is one of the best to set the ground. Imagine I have heard a lot about agile, but I don't know how agile work as a group. So I want to learn what is the Scrum methodology, what is a Kanban model, how extreme programming works, how as a whole lean management works, how to be a servant leader. This a servant leader is one topic we keep on talking last few years. In every interview, they question this. So how these things all work together. So that is what we're going to learn here. So you can be so relaxed, sit in a chair, just listen some stories about Agile. In between, I will ask some questions. Oh, you ask questions? Of course. Then only you will awake and come back. Oh, I'm also in the class. So we will have some question to answer. And we have some workshop. I may have some project simulated. Will make you to do some action along as a team. And then I will start showing what books you have to read. So this is going to be a very relaxed course if you are coming from PMP background. Seriously, PMP background is something like beating all the side. You have to read, you have to listen, you have to do it. It's like a very toughest process. If you cross to PMP and you come here, you can be relaxed and learn. But you have not learned anything before. No PMP, no certification. Just this is the first start. I'm sure it will be a little more interesting for you because PMI, that is Project Management Institute, they have a standard. People call it as a toughness. I won't use the word of toughness. It's called standard. Standard of living is high. Okay, if you go to a different country, the standard of living is high. You don't call it as a tough. You tell, wow, good infrastructure, good road system, a good government policy. You never call the word tough. You will tell it is a standard. You try to improve your standard. PMI Institute is not tough. The standard is high. Now you have to improve your standard, or maybe you are already in that standard. How do I know that whether I'm already in that standard? Only when you read, when you take some practice test, maybe you're already there. So let us explain or get explored on this area in next few days of time. With this, I would welcome everyone here. Thanks for being here. And the people in the YouTube, I believe you are also able to hear me well. Right. Very good. It's a pretty dark morning here. Said to get sunlight, so you can see some shadow on my face. The lights is there. Am I looking better bright for you guys? You're able to see me well? Okay, you can get my face, right? So somewhere you're sitting, I don't know, where are you? All right, a few more faces are coming on the cam. Nice to see. Nice to see you reply. Okay. Anyone else want to show your face before we go on off cam mode? I have a few more people on the cam. Bunch of people. Nice. I have Piyush in the middle of the night. Anyone else in a different time zone here who sit on very early morning or late in the night?
Me.
Ramya.
Yes. Yeah. Hi. It's 11:30 in the night here. So.
All right. It should be PST or
CST.
Sorry?
CST.
Oh, I understand.
I'm in EST. It's midnight.
Oh, God's sake, yeah. Look at the commitment you people have, huh? Middle of the night. Hope your family is not upset with you. What you're doing there?
No, definitely not.
It depends on how much of sound you make there, right? You keep quiet, they will.
Yeah, they should be okay. Yeah.
All right. Anyone else in the different time zones?
I'm in PST.
PST, okay. This time I find a lot of PST, EST, CST more here. Okay. All right. I know once upon a time we used to have ACP starting a little early, which can help people to cover. Because of my travel, I have to plan something like this. I know a little late in the night, but I appreciate all your passion to sit and listen. We try to make these classes more interesting so you don't find it sleepy. All right. Nice. I can see some of them on YouTube also. By the way, anyone from India, pretty early in the morning, 9 o'clock? I said, oh, Sriram, nice. Okay, so nice to
Yeah.
have the people here. All right. Early in the
Yeah.
morning, 9 o'clock?
Not 9, it's 10.
10.
10, huh? 10 o'clock.
10
Hope you
o'clock.
had a breakfast. Had the breakfast. A Sunday morning looks good.
Yes, Sriram.
Bit tough.
Nice to know. I can see Prasanna who cleared PMP recently. Prasanna, how do your family accepted you another training within a week?
They are used to it. I think they now got, only when I'm not in training, they are actually, I look different actually. So now they are used to it.
So when you are in training, you are like a drugged. So they don't worry about you. You are.
So they assume, right? Saturdays and Sundays, specific time is actually there for studying. So they, even it is not that they actually say that you have some training.
Nice to know. Good to know. There was a question when I was reading for PMP. My dad was checking out, hey, why you're reading like this? I said, it's a tough exam. I have to prepare. And he was asking me, you should have done like this when your college days. You would have had a better life. Of course, sometimes you get more knowledge only when you get retired from the office, right? So it takes that wise age to do this. So that's okay. That's fine. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Let's wave hands, say hello, Hechither, for the people who are in the cam, who are not in the cam, and we'll kickstart. And you're free to keep your cam off mode, mic off mode. I'll bring some slides to talk about something on the content. Even before I go to the content, is there any very basic burning questions you want to be answered? Before I go there, I'll let you know what all I'm going to do. In this next 2 to 3 hours, I will talk what is ACP exam, how to approach the exam, what are the books to read, and then I'll start showing the syllabus, what is inside that, in what days, what all subject I will cover, and what books to read. These are things I'm going to cover. Being a first day, I will not rush too much. I will go pretty slow, explain basics, and then momentum will pick up in the second and third day. This is how it's going to work. So it's going to be a 10 days of a learning program. Per day, 3.5 hours, it will happen. 30-35 hours, we're going to talk together. This is what it is. Okay. So now before that, do anyone have a question which I can help you? Shri, can you please clarify this before the class starts? Something like that. Even people from the YouTube, please let me know if you have a question. We'll give a few seconds of time. Okay. All right. I'm so happy that no question there.
I have one. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes,
if it makes sense or not, but I just wanted to know. So
sure.
when like when we there is a separate PMP and ACP, right? But some of the Agile portion is already covered in PMP. But why particularly companies are looking for ACPs rather than PMP?
Thanks a lot. It looks a very good question, which is a needed question here, because this is going to help the people who are just stepping in. So now PMP started adding Agile in their question papers by 2021 January. So when they started, they want to give a Agile, but they don't want to go so deep inside. The reason is PMP is not for one industry. It is for many other industries, like you go for construction, pharma industry, or could be for sales, manufacturing. In these industries, Agile, even though they can take some ingredients, they cannot use it all. They cannot have a regular sprint or iterations, incremental, not always going to be useful. Whereas some of the people factors can be useful, how to form a team, how to be reflex. These all they can do. Now, what PMP exam thought is, let's have Agile, but we will not do so much of a deep dive. We will cover at some level and stop. This is what the PMP is. So if I clear PMP last week and I'm going for interview next week, imagine I am in a pharma industry. They are questioning me, hey, you are in a pharma industry on the research area. We came to know that you're done with your PMP. Yes, sir, I'm done with PMP. Are you aware of how a project systematically works? Yes, I'm aware of it. Are you aware of Agile factors? Yeah, I know Agile talks about feedback. Okay, that's fine, enough. Whereas if somebody is going for an industry in pharma, there is something called digitalization. In pharma, they use a digitalization for research and development, data feeding, computerization. There I'm going for interview. In that interview, they're asking me, are you done with PMP? Yes, I'm done. Are you aware of project management? Yes, I'm aware of it. By the way, in our company, in the pharma, we are using Scrum as a methodology. Here we're using a sprint way of doing things. Can you please explain how a sprint works? Can you please explain what a Scrum Master will do? Now, I may not have a very depth answer. Even though I can give it a high level, I may not have a depth answer. Or they may ask me, you know what, we are in pharma, we are using digitalization in pharma, but we are using Kanban model of working. We are using extreme programming. We are using lean management. Now, even though I can talk what is Kanban, what is lean as per PMP, but I may not be able to explain how it works to the depth. Some level I can explain, 1 or 2 level. 4th level I cannot explain. I'll be struggling. Now, PMI-ACP is one paper which goes deeper. It makes sure you know every corner of each methodology and framework under Agile. And that is the reason people get PMP to learn the leadership management model. They come for ACP to learn about depth of Agile. Did I answer you?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because this is what I thought before I wanted to take ACP. Even I recently cleared my PMP a week back, last Saturday.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I was under the same impression that okay, probably ACP is going to cover in depth of Agile. So let's give it a catch at that. So,
but you know what? One nature of our people, specifically from India, you give a topic, they try to go so deep and read everything. Now, what is happening here is, even though PMP is asking little bit Agile, still our people, since you're given a book of Agile practice, other Agile books, they make sure they read everything. So when they come to ACP, when they come to ACP classes, when I'm taking classes, already they're eating something and yes, Shriram, go ahead. Already I've read it. All right. Yeah. So, but still, I don't take it for granted everyone in this room are PMP certified. I have people who never attempted PMP or they don't know what is Agile. There are some people here from different industry. Even though they read Agile in PMP or non-PMP, but they have not practiced Agile because they come from an industry where Agile is only discussed. Agile is only just a word in the company. So they come from that kind of a platform. For them, we need more examples, situations, problem attaining model. So these all can happen in a class like this. That's why it is happening. All right. Fantastic. Since you opened the topic, I will also add one more. There is something called scaled Agile. Have anyone heard about scaled Agile?
Safe, right?
Yeah, since it's an Agile platform, I'll add that also before I go to our syllabus and subject. Scaled Agile, it's nothing but getting to the next stage. Shriram, what do you mean by next stage? When I say next stage, imagine I'm joining a same pharma company where digitalization is happening. I'm taking the same example. Shriram, you have been recruited or you will be recruited. Then they're questioning me, how many years of experience you have? I'm telling I have more than 8 years. I have 12 years of experience. Then they're questioning me, Shriram, we heard that you're done with the PMI-ACP. Yes, you know all the model of Agile. Yes, I'm aware of model. So how many teams you handle? So far I've handled 2 to 3 teams as a Scrum teams, and I can do this Scrum methodology or Kanban methodology in my company. Very good. Nice, Shriram. So what is the next story you're looking for? I'm looking for handling more bigger teams. I want to be at the little higher managerial level. Nice. So are you aware of people management? Yes, I read PMP. I'm pretty good on people management. So you read PMP, you read ACP. So you're good on people, you're good on Agile. Nice. Now there is a challenge for you, Shriram. When you join our company as a pharma digitalization, we have 8 teams to handle. You say, that's okay. What's a big deal? I will do it. Yeah, there's a challenge here. We are not going to just blindly follow Scrum or Kanban. Then what do you guys do? We have something called a framework, called as a scaled Agile framework. A framework is a box. In the box, there'll be certain roles, certain timeline management, certain way of doing things. That's called framework. If you go to America, their road rules and the government policy, it's a framework. Within that, you have to live. You have to follow the road rules. You have to follow the government policies. Then only you can live there. If not, you will be penalized. Same for India also, but our framework is, hey. And that's a different framework. That's our country. We are proud of it, okay? Some countries have a very strict framework. Some are moderate framework. Some are no. Framework is always kept diluted. So now, when you live in this framework, you have to trust it. Now they're questioning me, Shriram, you are PMP certified, Agile, very good. I can straight away put into a team, you can do the job. But can you speak the language of the framework? Because my country has a framework. In this framework, we have certain language, certain roles, certain ceremonies. Are you aware of it? Now you say, even though I'm Agile certified, I may not know the term Agile release train. I may not know the term release train engineer. I may not know the term epic owners. I may not know the term architectural runway. Can it take a couple of days to read? And this is why many people come and they learn scaled Agile. Now, the answer here and the scenario of some person sitting in an interview, even though you talk people management, leadership, even though you know Scrum, Kanban, XP, if that company is demanding you to know some framework which that company is already following or they're going to follow, then they expect you to learn something called scaled Agile. So what is a demand, Shriram, here? Look like you are making us to read all the certificate. I can clearly sense that you want to pull all our salary into certification. Okay. See, as a ShriLearning, for now, I'm focusing on making people certify who can get into management leadership. Two things I'm progressing. In that case, once upon a time, I used to tell only do PMP. Then I thought, okay, PMP is not sufficient. If you go to Agile model, PMP plus ACP. Now, if you ask me last 1 year, I keep telling PMP, ACP plus scaled Agile. Shriram, what is next, man? PMP, ACP, Agile, and Karate, Judo. Right? What to do? The market demand is like that. I know it's pretty expensive. PMP will take 50,000, ACP will take 40,000. SAFE will take another 45, 50,000, nearly 1 to 1.5 lakhs you have to invest. But I will tell you worth investment. The reason what I'm telling here is market is very competitive. Population is exploding. Even though Elon Musk says population is reducing after he gave 5 or 6 babies, still population is exploding. When the population is exploding, the knowledgeable population is exploding, specifically in India. When you're sitting in a country like India and the competition is very high, you have to be somewhere unique in the way you are. That doesn't mean others are not doing. Everyone is doing the course, but I recommend you to learn something which is important in the market right now on the next 3 years of prediction. When I tell about PMP, ACP, and SAFE, this is not for today, upcoming prediction. In next 4 to 5 years, these 3 courses who have, chances are you have the edge of calling for the interview. Oh, they won't give the job, only call for the interview. That's the situation now. Don't expect because you have it a salute. Yes, sir. You are recruited for Indian Air Force. No, they will call you for interview. In the interview, how do you present? How do you do? That's your own interpersonal skills. Some people excellently present things. Some people can't present well. Up to that, you get your column jobs. So let me pass down here. I know this topic is we have to get into ACP. Since everyone is here, I thought of explaining PMP, ACP, and SAFE. But don't push yourself. Don't pump all the money at the same time. Go slow and steady. Certification is a different time. Reading is a different time. When I say 45,000, 50,000 for ACP, that is for exam. You may not need to pump the money immediately. You can first read the course properly 2 months and then decide to go for the certifications. Whereas a SAFE certification, it takes hardly 1 week to clear the exam or 2 weeks to clear the exam. You can decide based on that demand. Don't push yourself. But this will pass here for the certification. All right. Any other question before I go to these slides? All right. Thanks all. Let me. Okay. Yeah, please.
Sorry. Yeah, this side, Piyush. So I have a questions. Like I'm working in the automotive industry, you know very well, right? So how this ACP and that safe, like in a future, as you a leader in that industry, working so long with that Agile, PMP, and that all that management certification.
Sure.
So what do you think like the future of Agile in that manufacturing or the automotive industry?
Sure, sure. By the way, you use the word you're working for a long. By that, you want to tell I'm an old guy. Got you, man.
Not
Okay.
really, man.
Even if you don't tell, it's an old guy only. Okay. Thanks for the good question here. I don't know to talk for the whole industry, but in the industry of automobile or machines, we are moving to a next stage called robotics and digitalization. Shri, we are talking this for last 10 years. Yes, we are talking, but now it's maturing. When I did my qualifications, by the time we were talking artificial intelligence as one of the subject. Now artificial intelligence is happening. Now, the message to you and people around on the automobile and manufacturing is the portion what all we are doing manually are getting into digital. Let me confirm that with you. Do you see the transformation happening? Many areas are getting into digitalized. Very
Yes,
good.
like so I work with that R&D and that as well as the manufacturing both sides. So R&D is now using that Agile. They have a lot of Agile involved, Scrum, and that's even though they involve the safe Agile also.
Right.
But manufacturing is still get into that.
Will
Yes,
change.
they are using Kanban, but not
Will
into
change.
that Scrum and all.
Right. So what is happening is, imagine there is a bubble, a big bubble. The big bubble is a manufacturing and digitalization, manufacturing and automobile. Now, in this big bubble, for last 60, 70 or 80 years, post-World War, we were just following more of a manual work and more of machine-based work, more of predicted work. We know this is what we want. Over a period of time, machines are getting automated. Now, 1980s and 1990s, automation started coming up really well. Now, after the last 10, 15 years or 10 years, the automation part should be digitalized, which can be controlled by human beings from a different part of the world. You don't need to sit there and control. You can control from anywhere. Like a rocket launch for India can happen from one place, the pad will be in a different place. Hope you all know that launching pad is different, launching operation is a different place. So you can bring some digitalization. Now, where this is heading towards is requirements can turn into dynamic. Automobile and manufacturing industries, most of the time requirements not very dynamic. Now with the digitalization, you get an opportunity to keep the requirement dynamic, because anytime you can change a requirement, how do you want to go for it? Now let's park this part and think about the work nature. The work nature, if I say a big bubble, a big circle, in this big circle, at least 20 to 25% of the portion, now digitalization is there. Any model of the company you work now, they have a computer lab, they have a research lab, they have a place to convert some of the manual work into automated work. Now, this nature of work will expand slowly. It won't reduce. Now it's 20%. In the big circle, it's 20%. In some years, you will see it as a 30, 40, 80, 100. For this, it will take time. You go and see the Porsche, I believe you all know the car organization. They are totally digitalizing what they're doing. You go and see Ferrari, what they do, the digitalization. Talk to Benz and BMW. The Benz and BMW CEOs are telling that our majority of work are happening through computers. Still now, Rolls-Royce does many things manually, but some of the big car companies are telling that our majority of the works are happening on digitalized way. I'm not taking only the big companies. Every company is turning into digitalized factor. Now, Shriram, why you're talking digital? This digital work are done by knowledge workers. Who is a knowledge worker? You are a knowledge worker. I'm a knowledge worker. We spend most of our time through our brain, do the work. Now, handling a knowledge worker, you cannot go in a traditional format and handle them. They are not going to work in the whole format of command and control hierarchy format. You have to work with them in a agile format. You have to work in a mindset of servant leader. Requirement will be dynamic. Your people will be knowledge workers. Now, which method you will follow? Obviously, you'll come to a place called Agile, which has open platform, which will make you to think broad, which will make you to think like a servant leader, which make your team to be so dynamic with the high reflex in a sports. That is what we are heading towards. So answer a question, we are heading towards a hybrid model where you have a predictive, we'll have an adaptive, we have a scalability in Agile. All will go in the picture. Got it?
Thanks. Yeah.
Fantastic, guys. All right. Thanks for all the good questions. I know the morning started well. Once again, people who joined just now, good morning and good evening. Thanks for being here. Let me put up some slides and we'll kickstart. You have a question, you can stop somewhere, and or if you feel let the ShriRam go in a flow, I will stop somewhere in a Q&A session. That also we can do. Being a first day, I will keep giving a pause in between few places to allow you to ask some questions. I should not be rapidly running through. There is no point until you learn something. People are with me from other courses. You know how we conduct. People are new here. I'm sure you can stop me anywhere you feel I'm not explaining it properly. So first, welcome you all to ShriLearning. So what is ShriLearning? ShriLearning is an institution which we help people to learn subjects like project management primarily. We also conduct career counseling. We also help people to get certified on time. ShriRam, when you say help people, will you write the exam for us? This kind of question I keep getting. We don't do this. We only help people or enable you to write. Every human being has a split personality. Seriously? Yeah. There is a good side of you. There is another lazy side of you. So I would be helping you to touch the good and active side, reduce the lazy side. That is my intention. Okay, that's how we work. With this, we'll get in. First thing, we will see what all in PMI-ACP. You can see a pie chart. A pizza is in front of you. Also, on the left, you will have some numbers here. So I will use some of the writing marker to show what all is there. All right. So if you watch out on this pie chart or this pizza, a few pieces are here. Let me ask you the question. Can you help me to tell which piece of pizza it's bigger here? In this pizza,
Value driven.
Fantastic.
Domain 3 stakeholder.
Value driven is the first number of big piece. All right, fantastic, right? So first thing you have to learn in Agile is, am I delivering value to the customer? ShriRam, I've completed the work on time. I've completed the work within the budget. Fantastic. But it does not add any value. Will it be useful to the customer? Answer is no. So first thing in Agile is, it is not important to run within time, within money. Does it add any value to them? How do you know value adding? Only by, how do you know it's value addition? Only by, can somebody interpret this letters H and L? Or
High and low?
H?
It help business process. It's make it efficient. It give more values to the customer experience.
Okay.
Anything like which enhance the day-to-day business.
Nice to know. When I use a HP, LP, I know, man, abruptly, suddenly you're telling HP. How do I know HP, man? Hindustan, I know. What is HP? Can I tell there is a role called product owner, if you're aware of this role? Who is a business guy? Okay. Business guy. And this person knows what is HP, LP. What is this person? If anyone already working in Agile industry here, what is a PO?
Product owner.
What is a PO? Product owner. Product owner is a business representative from the company who says what work to be done. Now you now interpret this word. If a PO want value,
high priority and low priority.
High prioritization, low priority.
And you got it. So what you had for breakfast today?
Nothing. ShriRam yet.
When you're on an empty stomach, it works properly. Okay, got the message. All right. So high priority and low priority decides a value. Now I'm just pulling it for fun factor, but still the point here is, when you say value delivery, how do I know it adds value? Only from somebody from customer place has to tell me this is important. This is the biggest change in Agile. If you're new in Agile, you will know this is the biggest change in Agile, which was not there in 1960s. In 1960s on, what happened is, we have a person called project manager. This project manager is the only person who knows the business, who knows the technology, who knows the people handling, Who knows the process of the organization? Business, technology, people, process. And this person decides what has to go to market. It was good. Even today it is happening good in some industry. But some industry don't believe on this, like digitalization industry. In digitalization industry, value delivery can be better decided by a person who gave me the requirement. Does it make logically sense? Do anyone want to agree with that? Does it make logically sense that a customer who gave the requirement has a more thought of what to go to the market than somebody sitting in another place called a project manager deciding this? So this was the biggest change happened in 1980s and 1990, and slowly it came in 2000, 2001. We had agile principles and mindset. 2010, it's boomed up. 2014 and 15, it get really well. After COVID happened, every industry came into agile. So you are learning a course which is in the right time, which is a turning towards all the industry. 5 years from now, every industry will have digitalization. Every industry need agile. If a PMI institute is predicting something and adding something in PMP, you should be clever enough to pick it up. This is going to be next. You have to be clever. Okay. All right. So one piece of pizza, you saw bigger one. Can you help me next big piece of pizza?
Stakeholder engagement.
Fantastic. Stakeholder. When I say stakeholder, who is this in a project? Who can be this? Is it a scrum master?
Everyone from
everyone. I like that word, everyone. If I put a bubble like this, in this bubble, I will tell stakeholder, everyone. Sure, what do you mean by everyone? Who are directly or indirectly involved in the project. Then what is the next big piece?
Principles and mindset.
Fantastic.
And team performance. There are two equal weightage.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Already we said about stakeholder. Then why team comes here?
Team is also part of
its performance more rather than.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I heard that team is also part of stakeholder. Is it correct? Team is also part of stakeholder. Yeah. So this team is nothing but the core engineers who is going to work with you. Stakeholders could be a sponsor. Stakeholder could be somebody, a product owner outside or product business person. Could be anyone who is directly, indirectly involved. At times, product owners inside this team. So the message is the people involvement is having high number of score. These two chapters, some of you would have read when you were reading PMP classes. For you, the classes will be easy. If not, also these two chapters are the most easy chapter to read, but a tough chapter to answer in exam. Anything about the people, happy to read, hard to answer. In PMI, the exam question paper level will be slightly high. They try to ask you the question, not directly. If anyone here coming from CSM certification, Scrum certified, anyone coming here from Scaled Agile certification, Safe Agilist, don't expect that kind of exam here, because there we are very happy. Straight away the question will be there. In a Scrum, how many members can be in a team? 3, 9, 8. Such kind of tough question will get. Here, nothing like that. No straight question. They'll always put a spot on you, make you to think and answer. So this all subject what you're going to learn will be so happy to learn, but digestion time is needed for you to answer it. So how to get this, Sriram? First thing, you listen the class properly, ask more questions, and then you read the book. Number 2. Number 3, important stage is practice questions. While you answer the question, you analyze the question. That is the way we learn things. All right. So now we found pieces like this. Can you all put these together and tell me what is the percentage? I know mathematics will work in the morning. What is the percentage up to this?
69.
69, almost a 70%, right? So 70% of coverage is here. So rest of 30% goes to the place called planning, problem detection, and continuous improvement. You can see the word planning goes only 12%. In a predictive nature of project, planning alone will take 30-40% because we spend much of our time in planning. In Agile, we spend less time in planning. But still, this is the most interesting chapter where they talk about how the planning works, sprint planning, or we talk about more detail about the story sizing, estimation, Fibonacci sequence, all comes in this chapter. Okay. First few chapters, you will learn how the principle works, how the value is prioritized, how we'll handle with the people. This is what we're going to learn next few weeks of time. You may be surprised why I'm not talking about a Fibonacci sequence, why I'm not talking about story points, why I'm not talking about a t-shirt sizing. Those all going to come here. So you have to give some time to get to the basics of the course, then you go there. Okay, that's the way it's going to work. So now what I'm going to cover in the class, I have to show you that. Have you all got the syllabus? I mean, the course agenda, a PDF? For benefit of all, I have to.
Yes,
You got it? All right, fantastic. So for benefit of all, I'll bring it again so that we all aligned in the same line. Here is a PDF which explains about the subject. So we have put the classes by 10 days. If you see here, totally 10 days are here. So let's start with the first day. We have an introduction of PMP. Then we'll start with Agile principles and mindset. This can take 3 days of time. Seriously? Yeah. Some of the areas, key things I put here, like Agile mindset, 4 values, 12 principles, Scrum framework, Kanban, Extreme, programming, lean, Agile leadership. These all can consume time, really consumes time. And then which book I can read. For books to refer, I've given 4 books here. PMI-ACP exam preparation book, Agile practice guide, Scrum guide, essential Scrum. Shriram, how to get this book, where to get the books, this will be helpful to you later. Don't worry about that right now. First, understand there are 4 books we are referring. In this, the most important book is the first one, written by Mike Griffith, really a good book. Now, when I'm using a letter B and I'm telling an introduction to Agile, which book you will check? Let's see how you interpret this information. Which book you will check?
Agile practice guide.
Okay. So you will get to Agile practice guide, it's B. What about this one?
Scrum
guide.
You'll
go to Scrum guide straight away. It's a 12 pages of a PDF, 12 or 13 pages of document. If I say A, it goes to the PMI-ACP. Something like this I have added for each chapter, including the chapters what you see here. Day 5, day 6, day 7 and 8, day 9, day 10. Okay. I believe this will be helpful to you because when you see a chapter, you know which book you have to go through and read those topics. Beyond this, if you have any doubts, you can reach out to me. I will help accordingly. All right. Hope this is good for you. If you didn't get it, please get it from the team members. All right, let's get back here. So now let's start with subject. Before we go there, a little introduction about the institute. If you, most of you know about PMI. PMI is a project management institute, which is in Pennsylvania in United States. It was established in 1969. Certifications started mostly from 1995-96, and then from 2005 and 6 we have certain certification more added, and then in 2011 some more certificates added. So they keep adding more. Like last 2-3 years they've added something called disciplined Agile also, if you're aware of it. In Agile they have keep improving, but still pretty more valued certificate as per Agile is PMI-ACP. Discipline Agile is something little bigger. It is yet to establish well. We have to know the commercial factors also. When I say commercial factor, there is a big competition in Agile segment between PMI and Scaled Agile Institute. Scaled Agile is a different institute. They make big money, big money. How do they make it? First of all, course fees is very high. Top of it, renewing fee is very high. Every year they charge big money. So they're making biggest money than PMI Institute now on Agile segment. PMI is not money oriented because they're earning for a long time, big time player, they just keep quiet. But still they want to compete very well in Agile. So they acquired something called Discipline Agile. Discipline Agile, earlier it was an individual person who hold the rights of it. In 2019 end, I believe, PMI acquired it. After acquired it, it became part of PMI Institute. Now you will see courses coming from PMI, Discipline Agile, DA, some DSDM, kind of keep coming in. Shriram, is it popular? PMI is working to make it popular, but many companies yet to start using it because people are just now started using Scaled Agile very heavily. Suddenly they won't change to another model. So for now, Scaled Agile will run. Disciplined Agile will take some more time to come. If you're interested, you can learn, but you won't see implementation very faster. It will take some time. All right, so that's about the institute's background. So what we do in ShriLearning, so we help people with the PMP, ACP on Scaled Agile. This should be a long-term goal, big goal, and this should be the midterm goal, and this could be a quick goal. A weekend, I want to clear a certificate. This is a weekend certificate, like a side dish. But subject is pretty broad and good. Certificate-wise, it's very easy to clear, so people tend to go for it. Oh, within 3 days, you'll have a certificate. Hey, I cleared this exam. And for this, they give great salary also. People are excited. Within 1 week, you clear the exam, double the salary. People feel, wow. So, but still, you have to learn more on this course also. All right, so that's about it. The course certificate looks something like this, PMI-ACP. Somebody know about PMI Institute, they give a certificate like this. A certificate is valid for 3 years of time. Within this 3 years, you will gather some PDUs, Professional Development Unit, and then with this unit, you'll renew your certificate. That's the usual procedure. PMI follows. How does the exam qualification works out? We have to fill an application form. Of course, I'll be guiding you. For now, understand that you have to show around 2 years or 1.8 years of experience on industry where you worked on project management, little flavor on Agile. I'll help this part. You don't need to worry. PDUs part, 30 PDUs you have to gather. Okay, how to get the PDUs? You attend other classes, you listen some webinars, you get the PDUs. And a quick information for the people here who already done PMP, you are going to get 21 PDUs when these classes gets over. What does it mean? When the classes of ACP gets over, you get a certificate from ShriLearning course completion. Once you do that, go to website of pmi.org. There is a place called PDU for your PMP. Click that, type in the institute name, what you did, you type in there. Within 1 day, they reply back, we accepted. So out of 60 PDUs, what you have to collect for PMP, 21 will be reduced. Is it a good deal for the PMP certified people? Yeah, man, we need this. I have seen some people, the moment they're done with the PMP, they come to know that to renew a PMP certificate, you have to get 60 PDUs, Professional Development Unit, which means 60 hours of learning you should have done. What our guys you do they know? They cleared the PMP only by month of August. Within September, they'll get all 60 PDUs and they renew the certificate. Hey, I have 6 years of certificate. Many people did not understand the core concept of why PMI kept like that. What they mean by 60 PDUs is, over the 3 years of time, the industry will change. More new learning will come in the market. You should not be an outdated guy. For that reason, every year, if you can read 20 hours, 20, 60 hours of learning you get. When you get a 60 hours of learning, it means you're up to the trend in the market. Now PMI Institute will tell, okay, let us renew your certificate because you are knowledgeable. Our guys want to do within 1 week, renew everything. Over. Wow. All done. Huh? Now I'll focus on my family, getting a ration card, work on Aadhaar card. So there is a system PMI introduced. Our guys know how to cut the corner on that. So I keep telling that don't rush to get the PDUs. Go slow, learn properly, because they kept it there because you have to get knowledge gradually. Okay, please ever don't rush. All right, something about the examination before I jump to the actual subject. Somebody want to know? It's 120 questions. 120 questions for the exam, 3 hours of exam. Let me ask you the question. In this 3 hours, can we take a break? Can we take a break in 3 hours?
No.
I think no.
No. Can you sit in one place for 3 hours?
After
Should.
PMP.
Yes, yes.
Fine. It's a good movie. You can sit and watch 3 hours. Why should somebody sit 3 hours for exam? Okay. The problem here is 3 hours you have to sit in a place. You can't move. This was the biggest problem for PMP. 4 hours we used to sit in the same place. Then last 2 years, they introduced a break system. Every 60 questions, you can take a break. For ACP, PMI has not made any alteration. There are many people proposing it, but they didn't consider it. 3 hours sitting in a place is a little tough. At least 1.5 hours, you should give a break. Go out, refresh, nature's call, and come back. Yeah, those are needed. Anyway, for now, the exam is like this. You go to center-based exam or a home exam, 3 hours continuous. Benefit in center-based exam is you can raise your hand and tell, hey, I want to go for a break. Now, somebody will come in, lock your computer, allow you to go out. You can go out to washroom, then drink some water, take a walk, and come back 5-6 minutes. There's a 5-6 minutes counted on your exam time. In 3 hours, I deduct this 5-6. It keep on running, clock keep on running. If officially they announce a break, the clock will not run. You will pass the clock. That benefit is not there in ACP. So now on, get prepared that when you go to exam, 3 hours, it does sit in the place. That's what PMI-ACP right now. But what I tell people here is, if it's 120 questions, exactly 60th question, whatever time it is, raise your hands, go for 3 minutes break, come back. At least stand and walk, the blood circulation will happen, then write the exam. That's a better way of doing things. But if you are a home-based exam, you cannot do that. In a home-based exam, you are not allowed to raise your hands. No one there to tell you go for the break. No, they won't allow you. You get 21 contact hours, 12 months of experience you show. I explained it. There is something called pre-test questions. PMI usually use some questions in your question paper for research purpose. You may know this if you're coming from PMP background. When you say research purpose, some questions are plotted here and there. They see how you're answering. If you easily answer that question, what PM will do? They'll remove that from exam paper. If a question you keep on scratching the head, that's a question. Keep it for next exam also. So some purpose they use it. We don't know what purpose, but we assume that they check how people are answering it. Okay, that's a pre-test questions. All right, let's move. Any questions, you can stop me.
So that means 120 plus 20, or the 20 questions are already part of 120?
You want 140 questions?
That's what I want. Like, wanted to know. All right, yeah.
It's part of it. People can't answer 120 in 3 hours. 140, that's it. You're gone. So 3 hours, 120, including those questions also. Okay. I believe your eyes fell on, some of you see the numbers also, right? Dollars and money. By the way, keep in mind, there are some discounts PMI gives frequently. Please stay in touch with Rahul. He would be helping people of explaining there is a discount happening. So don't pay the fee immediately, wait for some time. And then sometime suddenly they announce it, we give 6,000, 5,000, 3,000 discount. It's good, right? Discount is a discount. So materialize it when it comes in. If nothing comes, your exam is closer. Another 2 weeks, you have to go for exam. 3 weeks, you have to go for exam. Book it. Don't wait for months for discount. Sometime it will happen, sometimes it doesn't happen. Just go for it. Okay, that's how it is. All right, let's go.
So Rahul, for applying for the exam, so this 21 contact hours is a prerequisite, or like?
Of course.
So
you should show 21 contact hours that you attended the class. Then only you can go for exam.
So basically, now we shall choose exam date after the completion of the course only.
Exactly. After this few weeks of classes or last week of the class, I'll let you know, start filling your application form, and then you apply. PMI will take 5 working days to reply back. Yes, your application is accepted. Once they give the word accepted, let's imagine by October middle you apply, and October last week you got accepted. From there, anytime you can book the exam. Maybe 1 week later or maybe 2 months later, as you wish. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. I assume you all can hit the exam max and max by November end. You should all close the exam, or November first week, second week, you have to close the exam.
Hi, Sriram. I have a question.
Yes.
In the previous slide, they were talking about the PMP certified. And so, is that like only PMP certified team can take this?
Did I miss something?
I misunderstood somewhere.
Oh, you're asking about this question?
Yeah, a current PMP registered or PGMP will satisfy this requirement.
Good question you asked. Now, when you fill the application form, in case you are PMP certified or program manager certified, you no need to show this 12 months experience. you can show only 8 months experience of Agile sufficient.
Okay, got it.
If a person is not PMP certified, now PMI Institute asks you, can you show more experience? The reason is already somebody certified means they have already submitted their experience detail to PMI Institute. They don't want to redo the work. Then they say, okay, guys, you're done PMP. It means we agree you already have some experience. Now show me some Agile experience. That's it. So the difference in application, data filling. That's what this is all about.
Got it, Sriram. Thank you.
So one more question related to that. In my case, actually, I did the PMP long time back. It's like 2013, I believe. And I renewed for 1 more year, but last cycle I didn't renew. So I think it got expired in 2019 or something. So, so is this still valid or like how it is?
Usually they don't ask you the numbers in the application form, but they can check it with your details. So what shall we do is we will show this whole 12 plus 8 months for you. Let us not take a call here. I believe you should have experience. 12 plus 8, you should be there with you. Let us not worry about it.
But what about consideration? Whether I will be considered as a member of PMI or non-member?
By the way, when you say you renew, you're talking about membership or certificate renewal?
I said like the both two prerequisite for that. Okay, one experience, as you said, it will be considered the safer side, the 1 year plus 8 months. That's perfect. But as you see the price as well, so is it also making difference member and non-member?
Yeah, of course. Let me jump to the next topic. The first topic what you asked here is renewal, because I heard PMP certificate itself not renewed. It means your certificate is gone.
Expired. Yes.
Expired, right? Gone. But I'm wondering why you missed it. You should have renewed it. Please renew it. Again, getting is going to be a tough job. Okay, that's the first thing. The second topic is membership. Membership is a different topic which talks about paying money. You pay $129, you become a member. By becoming a member, it's nothing like a library membership. When you get a membership, you can download some videos, listen something. When you have that $129 paid, then they give you discount. If I paid them.
But this membership remain the lifetime, or like I don't remember. It's been like long.
It's annual.
Oh, you lifetime.
Thank you. No worries. I'm just recalling my memories. Okay, from this.
I have one more question of this topic. Actually, I'm safe certified, and it got I didn't renewed it this year. So how the things goes there?
Don't worry. Safe is once you give. Once you say I have your dollars, thank you, you renewed. That's it. Very simple. Safe and all, it's not still not matured in the model. Even though they earn big money, good certificate, it's only money. CSM is also same. After 5 years, you go, I want to renew, give $100, renewed. That's it. Only PMI Institute will ask you, show me the PDUs, have you learned properly, then they renew it. So that's the only institute do so seriously. Rest all institutes only money. So safe, don't worry. There is one email address. Maybe you can reach out to me later. You have to send an email. Hey guys, I want to renew it. Then they'll give you a link immediately. Pay us dollars. We'll renew it. That's it. Kadam over. Okay. But still, one thing for you, if you're from Safe, Safe is keep changing. When I learned it was a 4.5 version, then it became 5.1 version. So you have to see which certificate you did. They will ask you to do that gap filling. They ask you to learn some course. Then only they'll make you to next certificate.
So it was in 5, Safe 5, not 5.1.
Then you're
5. Okay.
Then you're safe with Safe. Okay, don't worry. All right, let's jump to next topics. Before that, anyone is having a doubt on this, membership is you have to pay $129. I believe some of you did PMP recently. You already paid $129. Yours is valid for 1 year of time. Within this 1 year, if you do another certificate, you get a better discounts. So you get a better price. So many people who did PMP get benefit out of it, telling that, okay, I did a PMP. I already have a 1 year membership. Within this, I will do ACP also. One benefit. Second benefit, they also get this at 21 PDUs. So many people utilize this a time of 1 year to do 2 certificates, get it renewed, all stuff happens. So for them, it's so beneficial. Outside people, now you have to pay again around $129. It's up to you. You have to take a call. Okay. All right. Let's go to the subject. Here it is. Books. Can somebody quickly make a count how many books are given here for the exam? God, man.
12
books.
God's sake. 12 books, huh? All right. Can a human being read all 12 books in the next 5 to 6 weeks, go to exam? At least I can read the first page, last page, Shriram, nothing more than that. So now message here is a PMI Institute has given more books as a reference books. It is higher than the PMP. Okay. But what to read in that case? These 3 books are good. Still 3 books. Shriram, I thought I'll give 1 book. 1 book to clear the exam. See, if you read only this book, yes, you can clear the exam. But still be slight edge will be there. Now I'm recommending the second book. This is published by PMI Institute, part of PMP books. This is what people read for PMP. Agile practice, get very less size, 128 or 130, 180, some pages, very less pages. Another book I'm referring is Essential Scrum. It's a bigger book, but here the Scrum and Scrum related and Scrum non-related, some plannings are how the planning works. What is the role of a product owner? What is the role of a Scrum master? How a team should work? How an estimation should work? T-shirt size estimation, or I talk about Fibonacci sequence, well explained in detail in this book, the book number Essential Scrum. Here they talk about release planning. They talk about long-term plannings, well explained. Servant leader role is well explained. So all these 3 books are good. If you read these 2, sufficient enough to clear the exam. This is an addition. Why it is addition needed? I'm going for an interview, Shriram. I want to speak a little more clear, in-depth questions. I'm going to become a senior manager in my company. When your team comes and question me, I should be able to answer on the nitty-gritties of how things are working. So in those cases, I would recommend you to take this book and read, but not only for exam. This is also for interview purpose. These 2 are purely with the exam. You will get total knowledge of Scrum, Kanban, XP, Lean, Agile leadership. Everything comes in. Other one is an addition. Is this clear about the books? Are you clear with the books?
Yes, Sridham.
Fantastic. Regarding how to get the books, what to do, these all will discuss over a period of time. I prefer, if possible, have a physical copy where you can mark something and read something. It's pretty good. Don't download too many content from internet. These 3 books are sufficient, because I see people get a lot of PDFs and other factors to read. Don't overload yourself. Reduce something, what you need, read for the exam. Okay. All right, exam application. I will explain and help you as classes move forward. But for now, understand there is something called application. We have to fill and submit. How to fill, what to do, template, all will be helped with you. So don't worry about the exam application right now. Quick thoughts about the trainer. Trainer, you should know Shriram. So I hold with me few certificates related to Agile. I have something called SPC. SPC stands for Safe Program Consultant, PMI-ACP, CSM certified, and a few more Agile learnings I do, and I work on Agile model as well. So by the way, I work Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, I'm helping people. So it's about working knowledge, which I'm sharing here. I hope you are learning with me, masters in computers, masters in business, masters in psychology, and then I do help people on management coaching, leadership coaching, and safe consultant. So this is my day-to-day job and some passion towards explaining some of the concepts with the people. So that's about me. With this, we'll stop about this and go to you. That's very important today. So what we'll do is quickly we want to listen to you. How to do this is, let me stop sharing. Will you be comfortable to show your face? I mentioned that we're going to have a quick intro. All right. All right, we have a bunch of people. I don't want to put everyone in front of all here. Rather, I divide the team into 2. When I divide the team into 2, let's take 5 or 8 minutes. You will be in a group of people in a breakout. You will talk about your experience. You can talk about what kind of Agile factors your company is using or why you want to learn this Agile. So tell about yourself and tell about what you want to learn in Agile. If you can talk with your team members, it's good. So when you divide the team, you'll get a bunch of people in your group, we'll discuss. And again, come back here. So preferably, if you're a face-to-face communication, that's fine. I know Sunday morning, we won't look as good like Facebook photo. We may look sometimes like Aadhaar card photo, but it's okay. We can be as usual, casual and talk about it. You know the difference between Facebook photo and Aadhaar photo? Yeah. Aadhaar card photo will be different, Facebook photo will be different. On Sunday, we'll be in Aadhaar card form, right? Monday morning, Facebook. Hey. Huh? All right, guys. So I'm splitting the team into two. Let's quickly do this and come back. It's only 5-6 minutes. When we come back again, I'm going to start with Agile principles and mindset. That's the first topic we're going to talk. Okay. So people in the YouTube, you can put your message in the chat box telling that why you want to go for Agile learning. Right. Meantime, let's get an introduction from this team and come back. What I have to do, I have to split this team. I'm going to split the team. Boop, 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 boop. Done. I'm going to give maybe 6 or 7 minutes. Should be sufficient to say hello to each other. Not more than that needed, I believe. All right, good. Let's get in. See you. I'll catch you in the room. I'll come there in a few seconds. By the way, people in the YouTube, you can tell about you and you can put a point. What made you to think of Agile learning? Yeah, we'll see that messages. For the people in the YouTube, you may see the blank screen for a few minutes because the people are getting into breakout room. They're going to talk to each other, then come back. So until then, be a little patient. We'll come back in 5-6 minutes. Hey, welcome back. Right. I believe let's give a few seconds. People are coming back. I have some question from YouTube as well. Let's come to the question in a minute. Okay, that was good. I assume everyone got a few seconds to talk about yourself, or do anyone was opening I am by the time it's got over?
Yes, kind of. It's most like 3 to 4 members are left out. So just waiting for a time
Okay,
again.
let's not disappoint them. Let's listen to them. Gibson, I saw your hands coming up. Before you say Gib, it gone, huh? Yeah, please go ahead. You can give introduction about yourself.
Okay, my name is Yash Vardhan. Like I have zero experience in project management. The only reason I joined this course is my brother recommended it for the future needs. So yeah, I'm totally new to like all the terminologies that you are using. So
fantastic. The moment when your brother says and he joins, you're ready for management.
Yes.
Right, you're good for it. That's how things starts in life. Okay, nice to know this. Nice to know. Good. Anyone else?
Hi, I am Naranjan from Sri Lanka. Around
your voice is fluctuating.
10-12 years I am working as ERP project manager and the ERP delivery.
Okay, ERP. Okay, good. I got it, but little lagness in voice. Try again. That's fine, Naranjan. I got the point. You are in ERP and you have more than 10 years of experience. I got the point. Thanks for that. Technology. Okay. Let's get to...
how about now? Can you hear me?
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, Naranjan, please go ahead. Technology. Okay, let's move on. Who's the other person? I had one more person. Shruti.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Shruti Krishnamurthy. I have close to 30 years of experience in automotive industry. I worked as a program manager, project manager. So I cleared my PMP recently, and I thought, okay, within a year, I should clear my ACP as well. And we are also working in hybrid domain mostly, and we use Scrum extensively. So I thought getting to know other agile practices also would be helpful in future. So that's why I'm here.
By the way, first, congratulations for clearing PMP recently. I can see the joy in your face. When you did a PMP, you learned Scrum there as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Then what made you to think you have to learn more? You could have been happy there.
No, Scrum is only one part of it. There are other practices also being used, what I understand. So, I mean, when we do Scrum, since we are working in hybrid domain, we modify it to our need. But what is a pure Scrum? How it should be done is what I'm looking forward to.
Ooh, that's interesting. Thanks for that. Like that answer. All right. Did I miss anyone here? Joseph, you were trying something. All good?
Actually, Gibson did not complete his introduction, I suppose.
Maybe you don't want to say that, huh? You're stuck, man. When you are ready, technology is not ready.
So, working as a problem manager.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. It's okay. It's okay. We'll catch you. We're going to have a 10 days together. No one can escape. Everyone will get caught. Okay. All right. Thanks for that. And people in the YouTube, I appreciate your time there. I'm seeing a question here from YouTube, SK. I'm already working on Agile Scrum, which a kind of hybrid, you can say. Okay. And then the next line is, I'm here for a structured learning process so that I can implement and apply it to my current project and guide the team on various factual agile aspects. Very good. Of course, earning PMP. Okay, good. Hey, nice to see your message there, SK. So good that you are welcome to the ACP program. What he said is right, structured way of learning. Even though we read some article about Agile, some portion of Kanban, some portion of lean management, when you put things together, why it is working in this order, why we have to do this in upcoming future, when you know that, chances are you may sit in a conference room in your office where you can propose a model. I don't want you to talk abruptly. Why don't we follow Agile? Rather, you can tell specifically, if you are following a ticketing system, why don't we use a Kanban board? In Kanban board, we can have a work in progress. We can have a limit of work which can be picked up from the team. We have a 10-member team. A 10-member team can have a work in progress of 3 items per week. So we can work in this model. You propose a specific, precise information. Precise is very important in management going forward. Even before it is, now it's going to be good. Other day, I was watching a movie clip of first few scenes. I didn't see the full movie. There is a movie called Fast and Furious, very calm, composed, kind-hearted movie. Have you seen these movies? When you have a very composed mode, you can see that. Okay, they eat, sleep, fly, die in the car itself. So that's a life they live. We don't know which world they live. In this movie, I didn't see the movie fully. It's opened up. There is one guy will never wear the full shirt always. That guy was standing there. And he was talking to his son, asking him to give some tool to repair his tractor. Son will pick up a wrong tool. And the next time it will pick up the correct one. Then he will tell him, in life, you should be precise. Once I got the message, switch off the TV or a channel where they're watching a clip, because that's a message to be precise. Off late, if you go and sit in a conference room or meeting room, they're not expecting you to have a vague dialogue. Why don't we follow scaled Agile? Why don't we follow Agile? Why is our team like this? No why question. Give answer to that. If you can give an answer, you know there is a problem like this. In our team, the productivity is low. Why the productivity is low? Because the team could not pick up a high priority work. Why they're not picking up high priority work? Our team is not aware of, which is called Moscow rule. What is Moscow rule? Must have, should have, could have. Oh, what is a must have? Must have is value addition. What is value addition? Highest risk thing in the project, which can go to the market early, which can reduce the cost of delay. What is cost of delay? Man, you keep on talking new terminology, where you get it? So you put all these terms in a right way, not showing jargons, not showing fancy, but make a precise call in a meeting room. That's the person next to Sundar Pichai in the company. Sundar Pichai does not suddenly come in. He was able to be precise, clear on what his decision is. When we have 205 countries all over the world, why Sundar Pichai should become a Google of CEO in Google and then Alphabet CEO? It is not by sympathy. It is not because he comes from richest family or nothing. Nothing background is there, only knowledge. Only the way you communicate clear and precise, it works. Now, when you are in this course, you are here to learn how this thing exactly works. But don't expect that everything book will give you. Book will just give a guidance. From there, you have to take it, sharpen it. If you go and learn driver's license, that LLR, you know LLR driving, right? They explain you where is a gearbox, how to use it, how to see the mirror, all they'll explain. But the skill enhancements happens on your personal interest. Take the car on Sunday, drive it, understand the road when it's empty. Take on Monday when the traffic is there, drive it. Take on a rainy day, drive it. Take with your family, spouse next to you, keep on talking, still you're driving. So you learn the skill of how to handle multiple situations. That makes you excellent. So by learning these courses, you learn how to drive the car, but how efficiently you drive from Monday when you apply in your office. So that's how it's going to work. Okay. With this, we'll get inside. I know our break time is coming. My just class started, immediately break. Yeah, we need that break. What I do is I'll give an introduction of some content, what I want to speak, and then we'll go for a break of 15 minutes because sitting in the same place is a little tough for you. Some of you used with online classes. For some of you, first time sitting in online classes, you'll feel, how long, man, right? So also your breakfast is calling there, lunch is calling there. We'll go for it. Meantime, let's open the content quickly to review it. All right, I'm here. You're free to keep your cam and mic off mode. So what I'll do. The first chapter in the pie chart, what you saw is Agile principles and mindset. Somebody can question me why we should learn the principle. Straight away, can you talk about Agile planning? Can you straight away talk about the Fibonacci sequence? Can you straight away talk about how a daily Scrum works? Can you explain that? I can do that. But then before that, we have to learn the ground of a principle. Shriram, what is a principle? A principle is the one which sets our life good. Those days, people read Bhagavad Gita or read Quran or read any religion related, like maybe Bible. Those are the norms and principles people followed so that they were able to attach with some spirituality, which made them to live in a disciplined life. Even today, we do that. Now, why we read those Bhagavad Gita or Quran is just to see how these principles are defined to live a better life, not to fight with each other. Now, when you read Agile principles, it's about the principle like you read for a religion or read for a belief system. Why we do this? The reason is there, the why. So you have to first trust the principle, trust the mindset, the philosophy behind why we have to work in this model in this current century. Before World War, after the World War, we had a more human resource worked in a command and control model. The military system was highly followed in many places. Even if you look at a MBA, Masters of Business Administration, many areas you will see command and control model will be there. This is all derived from military systems. These are derived from colonized format. I'm sure you all know about how British were colonizing countries. When they colonize a country, they capture it, they keep a port, they keep a railway station, they export, import things. There'll be a commander, colonel, viceroy. These are all British model. They did for so many years. The same thing came in the books also. But now books are redefining. They're telling that, guys, command and control will not work. Some area it will work, some area it will not work. But how do you know it will not work? You have to know the principles. How do you know the principles? The principles are derived telling certain things which we thought correct is no more correct. But they cannot tell straight away those words. Rather, they put as a principles. When you read it, digest it, you come to know, okay, the command and control model will not work here. We have to collaborate and work. How to collaborate? Why we have to collaborate? That is what inside the principles. So we learn those systems in few minutes. By the way, this is your exam content outline. Let me ask you this question. Do you all got the PDF copy of exam content outline of PMI-ACP? Have you? Have you got it? No, I'm seeing some no. I'm seeing some yes. Mixed of things. If you have not got it, one, you can download it straight away from Google. If not, reach out with Rahul. Check out our shared folder. In the folder, you should have. If not, we should add it. Okay. What you see in front of you is called exam content outline of PMI. Shriram, what is content outline? Can you please explain? Outline is something when you go to the exam hall, 120 questions are asked to you. These 120 questions can come from a coverage of what you see in front of you. So what do you mean by coverage? They're given a topic, domain 1 Agile principles. In Agile principles, they're telling that we'll explore, embrace, and apply Agile principles, right? Explore, embrace, and apply. For this, I can read any book in the market. Okay, that's a way. It is not telling only you have to read Agile practice guide, only you have to read this book. You can read any book, but message is you should learn how to explore, how to embrace, how to apply Agile principles, mindsets. For this, there are good books available, which is what I explained you. So I see some of them given no here. Please reach out to Rahul, get it, the exam content outline. Have the printout of this. It will be 3 to 4 pages. This definitely should be on your table until you clear the exam. Whenever you get a time, you can open and see, did I know how to embrace mindsets? Do I know the mindset properly? You can see this. Related to this, you can read any book in the market. So this is your exam content outline. Also, this is what questioned in the interviews. You go to any interview, they'll ask you how the delivery of value happens. How do I know it's value addition delivery? Only when it is a high important to the customer. So these all what you're going to learn in the books or in the subject. Okay. with this, we will start with the first one, Agile principles and mindset. I'll quickly give a couple of lines and then we'll go for a break. Here it is. So now if you watch out the pie chart, I'm coming back to the same pie chart where we have Agile principles and mindset. 16% of the questions is going to come in the exam. If it's a totally 120 questions in the exam, when you say 16%, how many questions will come? Can somebody make a calculation? Good math calculation. Uh-huh.
17.
17 questions. If it is 17 questions, will you be able to tell this question is from Agile principles in exam hall? You cannot tell it? When you are in exam hall, when you have 120 questions, you cannot divide it by these domains. It won't be visible at all. Then how do I know? You don't need to know that reason. You can answer it. Then why we given this percentage? Because you should know the weightage of that. Weightage doesn't mean you have to read only this many percentage there. It's such an idea. In real Agile factor also, these are the areas we'll give this much of weightage in preparation or working with the team. So some factors you will learn here is values and principles. You will learn about a Kanban. You will learn about a Lean. You will learn about a Scrum. You will learn about XP. You will learn about Agile leadership and Agile process, work in progress, lot. Shriram, this one chapter look like a whole for the interview. Look like that. Apart from this, we have DSDM, Dynamic System Development Model. We have Crystal methodology, but we don't go all into deep. Certain areas important, we'll go deep because rest all areas are in market, but we are not using heavily. What you see here, we use regularly. These are things we use. All right, up to this, any questions I can help immediately? Any questions or any thoughts up to this? Okay.
So now, do you have any math calculation on ACP, like PMP, what we had?
For the exam or for studies?
For the exams.
Exam, no. Studies, lot are there. But Shriram, when it is not an exam, why should we study? You should ask the next question.
That is pretty much right, sir.
Okay, we have something called velocity calculation, right? That is available there. We have something called cycle time, ideal time calculations of how much of time it takes to complete the work, for which throughput in a day of time, how many work will go out of the system, throughput, cycle time calculation, a small formula, and we have velocity to see how it's working. But exam, they're not asking the question because there is a problem. When people write exam from home, they have to use a paper for calculation. Since at home, paper is not allowed, that rule, PMI is reducing all the math system. They had to find a solution for it. Only when you find a solution, they'll include more mathematics. If not, for now, no math. Hope it gives some joy, happiness. All right, let's get in. I'll play this video to show Agile mindset, and then we'll have a couple of minutes of discussion. Some points I want to listen from you. Within 5 minutes, we'll go for a break. So what I do is I'm going to play. And also some of you may be listening our classes for the first time. Make sure that audio is good for you. I will increase the volume to 100% here. And when I play this, you should get the good volume and good video. I'm pushing the video from my side in a high definition. Good video streaming is happening. Still, if you see some lagness, please check one time from your side. Sometime it can be a mistake from my side also. We will fix it. So take an advantage to see for the first video how it is working. Share the sounds. That's good. All good. Let's play.
Written in 2001, basically software methodology people came together and wanted to articulate the different way of working that they had been doing compared to what the rest of the industry was doing. Really, Agile is a mindset. It's a way of thinking that's defined by 4 values, described by 12 principles, and then manifested through an unlimited number of practices or different ways of working And it's simply a deep understanding and culture of learning and experimentation and trying things out. Any creative work will benefit from this notion of an agile way of working. One of the misconceptions about agile is sort of why, right? Why do I want to become agile? Is it just to be more efficient and more effective? And I think for some people, they may say yes, but for me, it's not that. It really is about customer centricity. Agility is the best way to serve your customer, right? The customer today is in a constant state of motion. There's a lot changing for customers at all times. And acknowledging and understanding that because I want to be more customer centric and that the customer is in a constant state of change, I need to be more flexible, agile in the way I work. And when I say I'm saying, marketing people, HR people, finance people, product development, content creators, sales, any discipline, any function that is trying to serve a customer. Agile becomes a necessity, not a nice to have, because you will not be able to truly surprise and delight and fulfill the needs of your customer without having a way of working where we are co-creating and trying things out and experimenting and inspecting and adapting and innovating and being okay with failure. It is a different mindset. It is a different set of capabilities. And I think if you just boil it down to doing things differently, that's all you're going to do. You're just going to do a bunch of things differently. But if you want to be a different person that is ready for, the next century of how business is done and creative work and customer centricity, that requires a journey, a learning journey for yourself. But it's a journey worth pursuing because it will change you, and it will change the way you work, and it will change what you can do for your customer.
Impressive. I believe it's a short video, but give some hint or highlight about what is expected out of this Agile. Before we go for a break, just a quick catch. Do anyone found any interesting word or a thought in this video? I found one before I say.
Customer-centric.
Customer-centric. Very good. Nice. I like that. Yeah. By the way, one question back to you. We were not giving customer-centric before, 20 years back, 30 years back.
But we were not ready to accept the change.
Okay. That is one. Nice. Nice thought. Do anyone found the word flexible was used there?
Yes, flexible. Earlier, it's more about scope project, and it's hard to do any change management. So, but now the world is changing quite rapidly. So, the change, the demand is changing quite frequently. So, to rapidly adapt accordingly, being flexible is the real demand.
I understand. When you say flexible, is it flexible only with the customer or within our organization also?
Within organization, within technologies, everything. No,
everything, right?
Yeah.
To serve a customer in center, keeping focus, flexibility is not only with the customer, within our team, within our mindset itself. How much I am flexible enough to adopt certain new cultural changes. Can I accept it? There are people, I'm in the same company 15 years. I never saw something getting changed. I don't accept the change. How many of them are coming forward to tell that's okay, that's a world change. I have to accept to it. I cannot tell my company cannot change a policy. I cannot tell this is the way a company should work. It will change. The world is changing. We have to accept accordingly. So flexibility is a very key word there, right? You found it. Nice. I'm seeing more words here. Mindset, flexibility, adaptability, and ready to change. Very good. Nice. Any other points? Anyone found this video? Okay. I'm seeing from YouTube also, Ravindra says, we were plan-centric mostly. I like the term. Yes, Ravinder, what you said is right. Plan-centric. You put a plan and you live and die for the plan. It was needed in some industry. If a dam construction is happening, I had to be very clear on the plan. I had to first evacuate all the villages nearby. I have to get approval from the government. I have to procure steel, cement, and people has to come and work there. I have to have a proper plan. I cannot keep on changing the plan for a dam construction. A military operation is happening. Clear plan should be there. Some flexibility can be there, but plan should be there. So even today, many industries need a clear plan. Because Agile is a spoken lot, doesn't mean that the plan and the way of working should drastically change all the industry. No. The way you look at the customer, the way you handle the people within your system, the way you take a feedback, the way you look at the requirement at places, there Agile can come in. Blindly, I don't want everything of Agile should brought inside. I heard Shruti was mentioning about a hybrid model. Many companies are looking hybrid. Because Agile is super good, I don't mean everyone has to take it. Because a jeans, pant, and t-shirt is good, not everyone can wear it. For some of them, don't fit in at all. I don't like a jean. I don't like a t-shirt. That's okay. See which will fit in. That is a mindset of going forward, where you accept which is good for it, but you try it, fail fast, learn out of it, and come out of it. That's a point. All right, that's good. So I can see Vikas also says failure is accepted. Very good, nice. So what we'll do here now is, so far, we have made a basic introduction of hello each other. We saw there as a pie chart, 7 domains are there for ACP. We learned what is in ACP exams. We learned what are the books to read. We saw our 10 days of classes, what all will happen. And we just kick-started with Agile principles. We're going to take a 15 minutes break. After the break, we will get further deep insight into Agile principles and mindsets. So thanks a lot for everyone contributing right now. Refresh yourself and come back. People in the midnight, I really don't know what to say, what you will eat, but at least you can take a cup of tea or coffee and come back again. But I really appreciate for your energy to sit middle of the night. Thanks for doing that. We'll connect in 15 minutes. By the way, when this break happens, we have a habit of playing a success story of somebody cleared the PMI-ACP exam. So there's a person who's going to have a success story. You can eat, do something, keep listening how this person cleared the exam. Catch you in 15 minutes. Hello everyone, ShriRam here. This is from ShriLearning. So today we have someone who cracked Agile exam. Agile is becoming a buzzword in any industry. And of course, there's a crazy demand for Agile. We have Steve with us who cleared PMI-ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. So first thing, congratulations, Steve, for this wonderful achievement.
Thank you, ShriRam. It's good to be finished with the exam.
Much relieved, relaxed.
Absolutely.
All right, quickly, certificate. So here comes the certificate, this beautiful one. I am sure Steve had a good dream to get this certificate as early as possible. Getting certificate is always a dream, because after we come out of our academics, it is pretty tough to sit in a place and read. We can't allocate enough time for reading, enough time for preparation. So if you do that, it's a good job. So quickly with the Steve. Steve, what made you to think of this certificate? Why you want to go for it?
I wanted to go for the Agile Certified Practitioner because I work with a lot of technical people in my organization, and they use many Agile terms that I was not familiar with. And so as I cleared PMP previously, I realized that the Agile certification was going to be good for me.
All right, that's interesting. So after you got certified, I'm sure now you will be asking a lot of questions about Agile with the people. So your team members will be following you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So Steve can give you some idea. The people who listen to this video, they want to know what is the ingredients or preparation for this exam, because ACP exam level is getting high day by day. The toughness is getting high. So what was your formula? What was your secret of clearing this exam?
Yeah, thank you, ShriRam. So what I was able to learn from my past mistakes. And I was able to share with you from the outset when I came to ShriLearning that I had failed this exam 2 times. So I needed to just get that out on the table right away immediately. I knew that I heard from Roy Sudit that you had taught a very, very good class. The community and the instruction was very good. I was a little bit hesitant simply because, you know, the accent, the Indian accent, so that scared me away. But the first night that I went to the training, I realized that if I pay attention, it'll be fine. And actually, it was more than what I could ever ask for because I learned so much in ShriLearning. One of the main things that I did was I stayed on task. I developed a schedule with you and I stayed on task. Normally, sometimes I studied in many instances during the week, 3 hours and a little bit more on the weekend. And I knew that I had to stay on task if I was going to clear the exam. I think another thing is really understanding and embracing the Agile principles and the making sure that you really understand those principles.
Got you. I really first appreciate that you are open enough to tell that there was 2 times. I remember the day when you messaged me, Shriram, already I have done with 2 times. So what you are going to do to me? So
yeah, it's important to really understand that failure is okay.
Yeah.
But you need to get with someone or community or mentor that can really help you with that because you really learn from your failure. And it's so much better now this time that I've actually passed it because I was able to score 4 out of the 7 above target.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. One thing I want to appreciate you, Steve, when the classes are happening, it was happening in IST, India time in the morning, which was late for you in the night. But I found you were in the whole session. I was, wow, what a commitment you have.
It was like an adventure. To me, it was like an...
Your family would have been surprised. What happened to Steve?
No, my wife understood that this was the 3rd time and I needed to get it done. And so she really supported me all the way. So I think that, you know, you have to just have the stamina and the willingness. And as long as you have people that you surround yourself with who understand your journey, and it is a journey, it's not a sprint. So I needed to understand that I'm on a journey and I needed to do what I needed to do to finish the journey. I don't need to worry about my cohorts who have already cleared exam before me because they have finished their journey. I was on my own journey, even though it took me 3 times.
Wow, I like that statement from you. One interesting thing also I found is you don't hesitate to ask questions. So you want to understand, you ask questions. I think we had some one-on-one calls where you want to set your calendar properly. You have a plan to prepare. I found you are very systematic on your preparation. That is also very important for this exam. Okay, well said. That's great. So one ask to you, Steve, you would have read the books of Mike Griffith. You would have read a Scrum Guide and Agile Practice Guide. Any other reading recommendation you have?
Yeah, perfect. Good point. Good point for lead-in. those three that you mentioned, Mike Griffin, I read that twice. The Scrum Guide is also very important, only because I was not really practicing it and I had no former background. So, and the reading is very easy to understand. So I did appreciate Mike Griffin's book was excellent, but the Scrum Guide and those resources that you provided from ShriLearning were awesome. It is very easy to understand. Although there's a lot of material in there, what I was able to do was pick the chapters that I was very weak in, and I got a full, better understanding before, after reading more in detail and in depth.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Good to know. Good to know about the books. Now, when it comes to the question practice, I have heard sometime questions are more on practical way of asking, in the sense, have you really applied it? So there was a little trouble while we are practicing. I found your scores started going high. You are 80, 90% in the practicing. So how your scores are high? Did you understood the questions reading twice, or you understood the keywords in the question? What was there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sharam. So what I was able to do, and just working with you, when I took a practice exam, I reviewed all 120 questions one by one, even if I got it correct, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't get lucky. So I wanted to re-cement my understanding of what I already knew. Honestly, that is the best way to do it. Take a mock exam and then go through it. Take 2 or 3 days to go through each question line by line, okay? And fail fast, and then go on to the next mock. I'll be honest with you, when I sat in the exam hall, I, as we had discussed, I did 60 questions, and then I got and took a break.
Yeah.
But once I got to about 80, I was so confident that I could close my eyes and just click, 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 because I knew I had passed.
Oh,
honestly, I did that. I could almost turn my head and go because I knew I had passed, and I did. So I think that is what I think that really. That is simply because, working with you, reading the material, and having a consistent study plan. You must do it because, as you are aware, PMI, they're very good at tricking you.
That's true. That's true. I like the idea of closing the eyes and answering.
Yeah, because I knew I already passed.
All right, brilliant.
And I had 30 minutes left.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
I had 30 minutes left. Now, the 2 previous times I had not, that wasn't the case.
Got you. This is even after taking 5 minutes break in between the test, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Super. So we understood about your study. That should be systematic, books, what to read, how to see the practice questions. In exam hall, you divide the exam into 60 questions, break 5 minutes, again, another 60 questions. It's very clear. Super. Any more tips for the people who just started preparing? What will be your tips to them?
Yeah. I hope that people who are like me and had no previous knowledge about Scrum really look at this video. I think that the people who are more familiar with Scrum and they take ShriLearning, they'll be fine. But I really want to talk to the folks who had no previous background because it can be done. I think that you need to surround yourself with a good community of like-minded professionals who are, want to help and want to really dive in and roll up your sleeve and do the work. I had a lot of fun. I've considered myself a lifelong learner, so I'm going to stay connected with this community.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So one question from the audience: what will be which state in US you are, or what will be your nature of job, or if you want to share?
Yeah. So I'm in the East Coast in Virginia, in the United States, and I work for the federal government. And
nice.
I honestly, after clearing my PMP last year and clearing the ACP, I'm having the most fun in my career right now.
Wow. Two PMI with you. Wow.
Yes.
That's quite interesting. Great. So thanks a lot, Steve, for coming up here and sharing your quick tips. I'm sure this is going to give confidence to many of them who are preparing for the examination. One key point takeaway I observed here is stay confident, don't give up.
Right.
So that's a one thing. Also, you gave one other term: fail early, learn, and then come back. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
I got that. Great, Steve. Have a great time. Thanks a lot for your time here, and good wishes for successfully applying Agile in your corporate.
Thank you, Shriram. Thank you.
Welcome back. I believe the success story gave some hint. Did anyone observe the success story today?
Absolutely, Sriram. That was really good.
Yes.
Nice to know. Nice to know. What is any take from his viewpoints?
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Okay. Nice to know. Nice to know.
Fail
yeah,
early.
he mentioned.
Fail early.
Fail early. That's thing. I understand. One thing with him is like I have some of them from middle of the night. I have at least 3-4 people sitting in a PST, EST. He used to join his class by 12 a.m. and to 11 or 12 a.m. he joins by the time and sits the whole night and listen to the class. I was always surprised. He was the only person by the time, comes in the late in the night and he listens. And I was pretty surprised with the commitment, what he was showing. It was continuing until he cleared the exam. After the class as well, he'll be on the Q&A, we'll asking questions. He was keep showing that interest. I believe learning is either it's a tough paper or a moderate paper, you need that commitment. Once you decide, yes, I want to go for it, you have to plan your exam date and start moving forward. That's pretty important. All right. One quick thing to people around here, I would request everyone to plan your exam date. So now we are in the September 11, classes are happening. Imagine we're going to go for 10 days, which is going to be for 4-5 weeks of time. When the classes are happening, you can parallelly read. Classes can happen on Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Friday. You can spend some time to read. If you read along with the classes, at least 30 or 40% of the content you would have read already. When the classes ends, the rest portion you can complete faster and practice 4 or 5 full exams, and then you can go for the main exam. Approximately around the middle of October, end of October, beginning of November is a good time to crack this exam. So we'll have a tentative timeline to close the exam by November Or some of you feel that end of the year, I have a lot of vacations. So by December, I will close the exam. That is also possible, but have an exam date. Now let's take a minute of time to look at your calendar and mark a date. Could be any date, mark it. Why? Once you mark the date, you be clear on when you're going to hit the exam. Now, again, we relook at this date on 4th week of the class. Because after listening the subject, reading, practicing some questions, your brain will tell, no, this date is not possible. Or this is so late, let's do early also. So plan a date right now. We relook again by 4th week. Can you take a minute to see your calendar and mark a date in your book, paper, notepad somewhere, and give me done once you complete it? Ravindran is pretty fast, yeah? Already done, huh? Date marked.
Yes, Shri.
All right. Let's everyone give done. Then I'll ask the month at least approximation. Most of them are given done. All right. All right. By the way, Rahul is sharing a link of a study plan. What a study plan? A study plan where you can tell the date. Hey, October 25th, I want to go for examination. You go to the study plan, fill the date, your plan will get ready. Now, when the plan gets ready, you can read as per the plan. But do you feel after 1 week, no, I didn't read as I planned. I want to redo the plan again. You can change the plan again. So message here is create some plan for yourself, have a date for yourself. That will help you a lot. People on YouTube, your study plan has been shared with you, a link. Go ahead, fill in that so that you'll get a study plan starting from today, starting from next week. If you want to go to exam, how to read, what to read, which will be given in a plan. Please work out the sheet which Rahul shared right now in the chat box of your YouTube. We'll do it. Now, let me ask this question. Anyone here going for exam in the month of October?
I am planning.
Nice to know. Nice to know.
Even I am.
Good to know. Okay, good. That's good. And October is a good month to crack it. If not, Max and Mac, November, we should crack this exam. Oh, they have a date as well. Nice to know. 16th October, November 28th. Very good. Nice. Good to see the date. November 30th, November 15th. Wow. Good. One thing you would have observed over the classes for a long time with the PMP or other factors, once you give a date, you start seeing more commit from your side. You start involving more. Thanks a lot for everyone marking your date. People on the YouTube, I'm seeing SK saying 24th October. Very good. So let's start this work by reading and preparing towards the examination. All right, let's get back to the content. Let's start something about the Agile factors. Now, let's start first with the video which we saw right now, which talks about Agile mindset, right? So what is Agile all about? I believe the video was explaining. We are talking purely about the mindset. It is not kind of a method. It is a mindset. What do you mean by mindset, Shriram? It is a belief. Like before the break, I was telling that like how religious there is some belief, or a country follows a way of belief. Every country has their own way of cultural looking things. So only when you believe those values and principles of that country, you may have a happy life there. Only when you believe the values and principles of certain religion and the God believing system, then only you will believe on what is next. So these principles and beliefs came in the year 2001. So before 2001, we are talking agility from 1950s. In 1950s, you're talking agility, and it carried over. In 1970s, it got some shape. And then in 1980s, we got some articles getting published. That year between 1990 and 2000, it's a very prime period of Agile. This is a time you would have seen Scrum more, Kanban for information technology, extreme programming. These all fall between these year timeline. So if somebody is thinking Agile is so trendy, my grandfather may not know Agile. Your grandfather was doing Agile in 1950s. So don't think you are the one you learned everything in the world in this age. There are people talking agility from 1950s. as such articles and papers started publishing. But before that also we work. Many industry was doing that, but they don't know the name of it. They were doing it. But the real vigor of happening started from 2001 when 17 IT people joined together. And then they said that, okay, the way we worked from 1950 to this timeline, we were following something called industrial model. Industrial model. What is industrial model? You plan really well, lengthy plan, and then you execute it. Executed. After execution, you will hand over to the test team. After testing, you will hand over to the customer. This is a one-time release, one-time release, one-time, single delivery. It's called single delivery. We'll give single delivery. This is the industrial model or construction model. Plan, execute, test it, hand over. In the year 2001, even before that, we started talking more of agility way of doing. But there is an industry called information technology, which was really booming in the year 1980 and 1990. This information technology industry also took the same model. They plan it very long term and then they execute it. After execution, they test it. After testing, they will do a handover as a single delivery. Single delivery. Okay. This, some were successful, many were failing. Many systems are failing badly because IT information technology is not like industrial model, not like a construction model where we know the requirement up front. So what happened is requirement, even though we know we want a website, but until the work starts, clarification keep on coming in. At the same time, the work has a lot of risk involved. What kind of risk? Technology risk. When you were discussing the requirement, the technology was different. When you do the work, technology was different. When you launch to the market, technology was different. It could be 1 year of time, starting from January till December, the project is going to happen. In January, technology was different. In December, technology was different. In January, the requirement was different. In December, the requirement was different. In January, people was thinking something else. In the December, people are thinking something else. Whereas in construction industry, that is not the case. It was clear-cut. No, I need a house. The house needs a 2-bedroom and I need a parking slot. I need a swimming pool. Maybe some changes I will tell. In swimming pool, maybe I add this, that I can tell, but not beyond that. So what happened in the information technology industry, they want to adopt the industrial model of doing work from 1950s. It was working for some time. Later, it started failing very badly. Customer is totally unhappy. Now, let me ask this question with the people in this group. If anyone working in information technology, more than 15 years here, have you witnessed your career beginning where they would do a well-planned information technology work? Have anyone witnessed it? Do I have someone in this room who witnessed this well-planned information technology work? No one, surprisingly. Okay, then I am the oldest guy in this group. When I started my career working for a banking system, it was a bank for Italy where they work on trading application. So we gather all the information before we start the work and we plan it elaborately and start doing the work. It was working for some time. Sometimes it was totally failing because the technology was booming and changing. So technology was changing, the requirement was unstable. With this, if you make a big architectural work, design and start the work, when the work goes 20%, now new changes comes in requirement. New changes come in technology. I'm talking about what to do, how to do. You have to understand 2 factors in project management. In project management, we have one is what. What is nothing but the requirements, and then how. Okay. In some of the industry like industrial or construction, what is clear. They know what they want, very clear. How is also clear because they have a historical record of how a construction should be done. When these 2 are clear, they're able to go well planned. Even today, there are many industries, what is clear, how it's clear. When it comes to information technology, what factor keep on fluctuating, how factor also keep fluctuating. When both are fluctuating, you may not able to go with a model what we are thinking in the 1950s and 60s. So now, as I said a few minutes back, from 1990 to 2000, we got many methods and framework like Scrum, Kanban, XP all came in. Kanban is there from 1945, but Kanban was tweaked for the information technology in 1990s. So this timeline, you got many things: Scrum, Kanban, extreme programming, lean product development. Lean is also from manufacturing industry from 1940s, but they made something for a information technology industry in this period. Now these guys are fighting with each other, not literally fighting, each one saying mine is best kind of. Then in the year 2001, they all decided, let's all gather together and frame something which will be a common ground which can be used by anyone in information technology. Agile was primarily focused on information technology in the year 2001. Whereas in 1990, 1980, when Scrum came in, it was created for manufacturing industry. For everyone's information here, Scrum, when they first developed, they developed for manufacturing industry. Then only it came to IT industry. So let's talk something more about this now. So now what happened here is, in the 2001, they formed 4 values, 12 principles. Let's see this in a few minutes, what it is all about. Anyone who believes this 4 and 12 can have a method called Kanban, can have a framework called Scrum, can have a framework called Scaled Agile. So message here is, it's something like, as I said, government principles and policies, you believe it, you can go to that country, you can open your own company. You can have your family with a green card, yellow card, red card, whatever card. So you go and live in a country only when you believe their values and principles. If you don't understand this no point of learning. Now, what is happening in the market? People are going for a certification called CSM. They learn only Scrum Master, but they don't learn why these 2 things exist. And that's the reason many Scrum Masters behave only as a Scrum Master as per the book. It's called being agile, doing agile. Have you heard these terms? Being agile, doing agile. Have anyone heard this term? Somewhere? If you started hearing this term, being agile and doing agile, it is purely talking about people who only work, behave, daily Scrum meeting should happen. Sprint planning they'll be very mechanical. The reason is they would have not gone through these values and principles, understood why such thing exists. When you don't know why such thing exists, you'll be so mechanical. That's the reason I tell people, please learn these factors. Okay, let's come to the point. The point here is, these 4 and 12 added more benefit in the year 2001, after which it started spreading across and many industry now start adopting. Initially, in the year 2001, it was primarily done for information technology. After seeing the advantage of this giving great success for people, great success for the organizations, now many industry thought that why don't we adopt it? So every industry is trying to adopt something from Agile, but does it fit into all? It's $1 million question. I cannot randomly tell here going forward everything is Agile. That's a wrong assumption. Literally wrong assumptions. Some industry don't need it at all. They can still work in a well-planned approach. But Agile way of looking people, Agile way of taking feedbacks, retrospecting ourselves, those all can be adopted. So we should not tell if somebody work in a predictive model, man, you're outdated, old guy. No. Still many industry need a proper planning. A surgery is going to happen in a hospital. I don't want my doctor to be so agile to change every day. Rather, they have a plan at least 2 weeks before they inform there is a surgery and make the patient ready. The surgery hall, 8 hours, 6 hours of surgery should happen as it should happen. I cannot make dynamic changes there. Of course, certain parameters I can change, but main surgery should go well planned. So certain industries should go well planned away. You cannot abruptly tell that going forward everything is Agile. No, Agile will be one of the ingredient. Like your mobile, every mobile nowadays have a Google Map. Every mobile has a WhatsApp. Without WhatsApp also you can live, but WhatsApp makes you a little more better life, faster reaching people if needed, right? So certain things coming in the industry which will help, but one blind belief with the people is something 10 people follow, behind them 100 people run without knowing what it is. We should not be such person. So in your company, when they're asking for recommendation, since because you're Agile certified, don't force Agile. See which can work for them. Many places, hybrid works properly. I have worked in companies which is a hybrid. What is hybrid? Some portion of the work will be well planned and systematic. Some portion of the work will have no clarity. Those areas we keep it open. That's called progressive elaboration. As you get the details, you get more work on that area. That's called progressive. So answer the questions and thought process for people here. Agile starts with the 4 values and 12 principles. Whoever learns these 2 things properly, the rest all works smoothly. Okay, good. All right, let's go a little more. 9. There is an analogy. There is a short video. The difference between a long-term planned work and short-term planning work. Like we talk about waterfall model, agile model. These videos, when I'm talking about waterfall, when I'm talking about well-planned, when I'm talking about agile model, I'm not comparing between some industry which definitely needs well-planned work. For example, construction. Construction industry needs a proper planning before they start the work. When I play this video, these videos are meant for industry where agile can be followed, but they are not following. I'll repeat again. These videos are made for the industry where agile can be followed, but they are not following. One of the example is information technology or learning and teaching industry. So now if agile can be followed there, but they are not following it, it's going to be a mistake. That is what this video is predicting. The reason I'm saying this before the video is you should not believe that every industry should change into agile. That's a wrong assumption. Okay, with this, I'll play this video right now. Yeah.
This is St James's Park, home of Newcastle United Football Club. I was born in Newcastle and grew up a few miles out of town. In Newcastle, they say that football isn't life or death. It's more important than that. Alas, my own football skills were distinctly lacking. But there was a game we'd play at the back of the classroom when the teacher wasn't looking. Football, kind of. I'm sketchy on the rules. I guess we'd take turns to get across the pitch and...
Nice strike! Oh, better than nice! Wonderful!
It struck me recently that the game is a rather lovely demonstration of Agile. We have value delivered in small increments as the ball makes its way up the pitch. And we have the opportunity to course correct. Turns out that it's easy to recover from a wayward first kick. It's taken me decades to work out how to really play this game. Now, where did I put my special pencil? Ah, here it is. My turn. Ready, aim. Aim some more, and...
Good shot, it's in! Final minutes!
As I'm sure you've guessed, this enormous pencil represents a waterfall approach. It's an all eggs in one basket approach. We design, build and test this Leviathan and launch it onto the world. It's either a big hit or a big miss. No second chances. If our aim is true, if the playing field is flat, if the goalposts don't move, we're on to a winner. But for me, that's an awful lot of ifs, an awful lot of risk. In an uncertain world, the enormous pencil starts to look less like an unfair advantage and more like a big-assed liability. In an uncertain world, we need a pencil that's more, what's the right word? Agile. With this small but perfectly formed agile pencil, our aim doesn't need to be true, the playing field doesn't need to be flat, and the goalposts don't need to stay put. All that we're really required to do is keep kicking.
Oh, what about that?
So what did you make of the what is agile pencil analogy?
Interesting. Did this analogy map with the industry what we're talking here? Do you feel that some of your industry may not need such a long plans. Do you feel it is mapping with your day-to-day job by any chance?
Just
you get a feel. Okay, yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely matching with the information technology industry.
Right. So some of the places where we had a long-term plans, we may not prefer right now. If there is an opportunity, I'm stressing these words a few times because you should not go and present a place, even though good planning helps there, abruptly making a short plan will not work. But Agile mindset of if you can do a course correction. Did you find that a pencil when they play the game, they do a course correction. If I go wrong, I can come back. But if you make a one shot, I cannot come back. And this is the reason they look out for Agile model of working. All right. I believe that gives some idea. Let's go a little more. There is a question for you. Read it and let know what is a model we can follow here. Okay, let's everyone give a chance. Waterfall model. Okay, why we go for a predictive model here or waterfall model? What could be the reason in the question?
The requirement is well clear. It's defined.
Requirement is not clear.
No, requirement is clear.
It's clear.
Clear. Okay. What is the keyword in the question? What is the key? Which word drives you?
Replace all.
It has performed many times in the past.
Performed many times. What does it mean? So we have a lessons learned. We know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. What other words?
Objective is clear.
Other cities. All right. So this can get into a plan-driven approach. Okay. Good answers. Thanks for that. Let's see the other one.
This can be Agile.
What kind of keywords drives you to?
Community feedback.
Feedback.
And
user feedback.
User feedback.
Okay.
Okay.
Priorities for potential.
The feedback looks a good wording here, isn't it? So what kind of feedback it is? It is something on the product development feedback or the ways of working feedback. What kind of feedback it is?
Features.
The customer experience.
Okay. So the message here is, if I'm doing something, I can show 10% of my work to my customer. So a customer can view that and give a feedback. Based on that, I can add more on top of it. Is that the understanding?
Yes.
Iteration, more
now,
iteration.
And now, do anyone saw this word prioritization, priorities? Now, the question here is using the feedback, not only for me, even for the customer. See, customer is also a human being. I don't want to say that customer knows everything in advance. While we show a demonstration to them, when they give a feedback, when they take a feedback, customer also can prioritize, right? They can also understand what is important in the market right now. If something is not going to add value to my customer, I don't want to push it. Imagine there is a banking system. The banking system comes to Infosys and say that Infosys, can you please do this product? We want my customer to get a credit card payments smoother. Nice. We started the work in Infosys, and Infosys is questioning back with the bank. Hey guys, can you tell me which is first needed for you? So the bank says, okay, let me see the voice of the customer, VOC. The voice of the customer says that paying credit card processing through my debit account is easy. I don't want to put the money in the counter that I do directly. I'm talking requirement 10, 20 years back. So now the bank decides which is a high priority, but still when they develop it and launch it to the market, customer accept, customer reject, or more voice of customers can come, VOC. So now the client whom we are working with, the Infosys working with the bank, they get an opportunity to discuss which is a high priority. I cannot do this in my building construction. In building construction, washroom is high priority. Let us first do washroom, then we'll go for a kitchen. I don't want to work like that because it's going to be single delivery. A home is a single delivery. Starts from the door, you have a living room, you have a bedroom, you have a kitchen, you have a washroom, you have a car parking space, and then you deliver it. I can call my customer and show them how it is, but I'm not going to deliver it. But in some of the industry, you can even deliver it. They can use it. They can give a feedback. So Shriram, only when we use it, give a feedback. Can I see then give a feedback? Yeah, you can. That's called iterative way. Iteratively, somebody come and see, oh, wow, this is not the way, this is the way. Modular kitchen, can you edit something here? In a living room, can you keep a television box placed like this? But you cannot change so drastically, but you can do something. Now, every industry has some agility, but how do you adopt it, right? So the question here, looking here, is about agile model where the flexibility is accepted, feedback is accepted, prioritization is accepted, accepting the failure itself. I can fail in the beginning. Now, why we all sit together today? I have people not only from information technology in front of me today. I have people from different industry. Every industry trying to see how much piece of work I can take from here to use in Agile. How do I adopt Agile model? But in information technology, you have an opportunity. 100% can be Agile. Every nook and corner can be used with Agile, right? That's what it is. So even though you are from different industry, if your industry is following digitalization, high chance you may get fully into Agile, or at least you get portion of the Agile wordings. So why I put these two questions, just to give an idea. Mostly we go for agility, for a flexibility, feedback, prioritization. From whom? Both the side. The company which is doing the work, also the customer. It is not only for the company, it's for the customer also. Both, two-way. All right, hope that helps you. Let's move a little more. This picture, I'm sure you have seen a number of times in Google. Rather, I'm saying something here. Let me listen from someone in this room. What is the big difference you see from the top and the bottom layer of a picture? Let me hear from some of them who learned Agile. Go ahead. Ravinder, Vikas, good chats. I can see a message. Yeah, please go ahead. Somebody want to speak up? What is the difference between the first and the bottom?
The above one is a predictive approach. The second one is an agile approach. So wherein predictive approach is nothing but a plan-driven approach. It's also called the traditional way of working. So traditional plan of working where you define all your things first and then you do a development and then testing and then go live. Okay, so it's just a sequential approach. But whereas in Agile, we don't know the requirements to the fullest at a single shot. So what we'll take is we'll do it in sprints. Okay, so we'll take few requirements and you just refine it and just develop it for 2 weeks. The sprint usually for 2 weeks and then deliver it in pieces. Yeah. This is a bit fast approach. Yeah, get the feedback as early as possible. Yeah.
In the second approach.
I'm sorry.
In can say in the second approach, like it's more like inspected adapt processor being taken up. Like in every iteration or a build, we'll be doing the inspect and adapt sessions, or you can say we'll be doing that to actually go to the next build or iteration. So all the learnings and the refinement, or you can say it's like a more you can say incremental way we are going on.
Okay, the other thing is risk. The risk in the beginning is less in the traditional model, and then at the end when you release, and if it's not as per the expectation, the risk is high. But here, I mean, we identify, we get the feedback and we know the risk then and there, and then at the end of the day or end of the release, the risk is not that high, that because you have a mitigation plan, or you have a risk mitigation plan because you got their feedback in every release. Yeah.
Well said. Thanks a lot. I take all three of you worth points. The one explained here, I heard we define it well, in depth, and start the work. I'm not here competing between construction and IT. No, I'm competing inside the domain where Agile can be followed. Here I'll take example of information technology. Citibank want to digitalize some of their work 10 years back, 20 years back, or for today itself. So they take the work and they define it well. Can I define the whole Citibank work? It was like that 20 years back, 10 years back, even 5 years back, even some company, even today in digital world, they try to define all the work, try to define. When you define all the work, then they plan to build it at one shot, release it at one shot. They do user acceptance testing. And what happened is that over a period of time, we didn't talk about the risk factor. I was hearing the wording about risk right now, well explained. Risk is not attended. What kind of risk is? It could be technology related risk. It could be requirement need of the market related risk, or it could be voice of customer oriented risk. Multiple risk is there. This risk we didn't see, we kept it a secret because we thought what we have in our hand will work. We elaborated, we build it, we release it. We are happy with what we got in the month of January, and we release in the month of November. Now the customer looks at and says that, you know what, we are out of technology. You know what, the requirement does not map with the market need now. You know what, customer is not happy because the whole month of January to November, something has changed. In the industry we are talking here. In some industry, it stays the same. I'm keep repeating again and again on the first day of the class. The reason is, going forward, I will not repeat it. The reason is you should not think every industry is so flexible. No, some industry is flexible. Fortunately, you and me are working in a flexible industry. So technology, requirement, voice of customer keep changing. Now, the same product of what Citibank and Infosys has to work, we'll pick it up here. Still, I want to define it. I will have something called a release plan. Release plan, which will be there. It will tell release 1, R1, release 2, R2. Should have only release will have something more than that. I will have a vision. What is a vision? A vision is a Citibank should digitalize. In future, in about 2 years from now, I will have one website where any customer of me, my bank, can utilize their credit system here. That I will have a vision. That's a vision. For this vision, I will have release 1, release 2, release 3, it is. But under release 1, I will have multiple small boxes. Why multiple small boxes? Because I don't want to do everything well planned. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, elaborate it clearly. Do all the work, release 1, 2, 3, 4 in one shot and give everything at one shot. Rather, what I do, I take a portion of it, a portion of work from release 1. I'll take that and I will sit with my team and talk about it. When I'm talking about it, I understand the requirement well, and we will work together to build it and we release to the customer. Now, when I give it to the customer, if the work is starting in the January, in January itself, I'll give one release to the customer on the same month. Now, when I'm giving this, the customer is evaluating it and they can come back to me. Anything on requirement, technology, voice of customer, something, they'll come back to me. When they come back to me and tell that, no, Shriram, what you did is good, but I feel these areas we have to work out. So what we do? The next time when I define my work, the next piece which I define the work, I can include the feedback from here. Feedback. Feedback can be the way of working. Feedback can be on the features. Feedback can be on technology. Feedback can be on a risk attending. Something will come here. So what I'm doing here is when in the month of January end or February, when I want to work on the next piece of work, I'm already aware that what is my customer's taste preference. I'm already aware that what is the current trend in the market. I'm already aware that am I really aligned with the need of customer? And this is called value addition. This is called value delivery. You cannot go back and fight. No. When the Citibank project started in the January, we signed a contract. In the contract, it says this is a website we are going to give. You give all the requirement, go home and sleep like a polar bear. We'll call you once when the work is done. That's not the way this industry works. Some of the industry which has a digitalization and change is going to happen. So we attend the risk then and there. You can see the star size getting bigger. Here there is one size, and then it's getting further bigger, and it's getting further more bigger. It's called incremental model. So when you repeat this process of again and again getting feedback and requirement gathering, it's called iterative and incremental approach. I'll show some videos and explanation in a few minutes of time. The message I want to convey to you here is, like rightly said in this group, risk is not taken with you and someday suddenly you open that, ta-da! The market will say, ta-da! Nothing will work. Rather, every few weeks or months, I can show to the customer's decision they want to take to their end user or not. Customer is different, end user is different. Customer is different, end user is different. If I say Citibank is here working with Accenture, I'm taking the company name, Accenture. Accenture can deliver to his customer. Citibank will take it to end user maybe 1 month later. It's up to them. But after the digital world immediately goes on. But if point here is, I can give to my customer can evaluate it, then they can decide, can I take to the end user? Imagine both happens on the same day. The end user also use it, they give a feedback. That feedback is very important. That usage data is important. How many people accessing it? How many people using it? By this, we come to a conclusion, the risk is there, but it is reduced because we saw with the customers a taste. They're liking, disliking. If they're disliking, that's fine. I don't want to tell in the month of November, my customer is not liking it. I am very happy to know in the last week of January. Let me ask you the question. Do you think something you know which will not work in the month of January is better, or knowing in the month of November is better? Which one is better? Fail fast or let me do on the end? What is your thought?
Only the better.
Fail fast is better. But if I say there's a dialogue 15 to 20 years back, you has been looked like a nut fellow. You know that? 20 years back, if you go and tell them, I will try something, let me fail, I will learn, then I will do. People look you as a crazy nut. Like how people looked at Galileo, that's what they look at you. Now the trend is like this, where they say that that's fine. Do it right now. I don't want to fail as a whole. I can happy to fail. I can be happily fail as a component. I let me fail one component. I know it and I fix it. In a hotel, you go for a food service. You want to have a food service, a la carte. They come and serve you papad and a soup. From the papad and soup, you understood the taste of the hotel. Is this called soup? Then you tell, thanks a lot. We came here to have only soup. Have a great day. Meet you soon. Run away from the hotel. One side. Other side of the hotel serving it. They serve you the soup. They look at your face reaction. They question you, sir, how is the soup? Would you like to add more spice on that? The customer says it's very spicy. Can you reduce it? I understood my customer's spice level. I go and inform my chef inside. This family like to have a medium spice. Can you reduce it? I can define my next requirement, next release when I give in the month of February. My next level of food, that is a main course, I will reduce the spice. My customer is happy. When I come to the salads or when I come to the ice cream area in the month of March, I am pretty clear what they want, or I can understand a little more better. So it is both the side of customer running away, they don't want it, or customer can adjust accordingly. So this model of adopting things, changes, is called Agile model. Later in this comes into how to implement Scrum, Kanban, XP, Lean. These are all how factor, how to implement it. Let us not go to that immediately, but first let's understand the mindset of changes coming in. Are you with me on up till this?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Great, guys. Great. I really appreciate the people staying here and listening, asking questions. By the way, there's a person called Winston. Who is this person? Many people sometimes think he was the one who coined the name called waterfall model, but actually he didn't frame the name. But let's understand about Vincent Royce. Vincent Royce, what happened is he was the one framed the model of delivering in a sequential way. What is sequential way? First, you collect the requirement, you design it, you construct it, integrate it, test it, install it, maintain it. This is for information technology. So Shriram, he was the one invented for construction. Construction is there for thousands of years. In Indian history, thousands of years is there. Mexican history, thousands of years. France, thousands of years. All these historical things, thousands of years are there. But what happened is when information technology came in, it's a new industry. New industry, right? In the year 1960s and 70s, somebody has to tell how to work. Winston took effort to see industrial construction model. He drafted something. When he drafted something like this in a sense of sequential approach. What is sequential approach? It will first do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. And then we still don't know who called it. It's called as waterfall model. Okay. This is what IT industry started using initially. By the time he written the paper, he also written one line. You have to read this line. I believe in this concept, but the implementation described above is risky. The model, what we do here is risky. He written in the year 1970. For this, we got an answer only in the year 2001. Nearly 30 years we waited to get an answer. This risky is you cannot work like this in this industry. That's a point. Now, why I put this message here is you should know in information technology how this wording waterfall came in, how sequential came in. So now you understood this person said this, right? Now, what happened if that's the case? If that's the case, let's understand Agile, how it happened. Agile birthplace. In 1950s in the US Department of Defense, NASA, they started using iterative incremental model. 1950? 1950, can you assume your father, mother would have been in education or your grandfather would have been there? What is your thought? Is it your father, mother time or grandfather time? I think it's a grandfather, grandmother time. Right? Okay. Their timeline is what Agile we were discussing. Your father, mother may be born. They're at 70s now. If not, they're not even born. So 1960s evolutionary project management, there they started 2 weeks of iteration. Okay. And 1986, this was a turning point, biggest turning point, 1986. Takuchi Nanoka, 2 people from Japan. By the way, in Agile books, you will see mostly Japan. Many things are derived from Japan, but branded and sold by America. Really? They are good in selling things, right? These 2 people are university professors. Even today, they are professors in universities. Takuchi Nanoka, they published a paper. The paper is called The New Product Development. In this paper, they used the game called rugby. I'm sure you've seen the sport called rugby. In rugby, there is a way 8 or 9 people join together as a group. It's called scrum. And then they move the ball. As a team, they move the ball. It's called rugby. In rugby, there is an event, the way of doing things called scrum. Now you know where a scrum came, right? So this article is read by Jeff Sutherland. And this guy, American, took it and derived a method or framework called Scrum methodology. But the credit goes to these people who derived it. Then he written something. What Jeff Sutherland did is he took the paper, then he took waterfall model. He made a mini waterfall with way of working, and that is called a Scrum. Scrum came like that in manufacturing industry in 1990s. Shriram exam, they'll ask these questions. No one will ask this question in exam. I'm just giving history for you to understand background of what we do. In 1990s, you found Scrum, Extreme, DSDM, many method came in. This 10 years is a prime golden period. Many came in. All are in America. What about other country? Other country was also doing, but no one knows how to publish it. That's a problem. After the internet came in now, no wonder every country will grow. In another 50 years, market in another 50 years, the world will see fittest will survive. How the fittest? Brain fitness. So now it's a competition. Market is open from the year 2000. Let's see who is powerful. The colonizing model went off. Superpower model went off. It is only this will survive. Which country is a CEO factory now? Which country is a CEO factory? That country will overtake. CEO factory will start coming out. Okay, let's go forward. So now we'll talk about this in 2001. In the year 2001, Agile Manifesto was written. They put on 4 manifesto and 12 principles. What to tell here is deriving all this information and having these methods in together, they derived this to 4 plus 12. Now let's see what is this to 4 plus 12 to get more clarity. By the way, there are some dates given here. Can somebody make a guess what these dates are meant for? August 6, August 9, if you know this.
Atomic bomb dropped on Japan.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yeah, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. The bomb name, one bomb name is a little boy, other one is a fat man. Look at the code name, right? That's a code name they use in the military. Drop little boy. They dropped it. The next bomb planned to drop by August 11th. That's a planned date. When this bomb was dropped, by the time King rule was there, King was of Japan said, sorry guys, stop it. America said, let's pre-pone, drop it 2 days before. They pre-poned it 2 days before, dropped it. They could have stopped the second one. Now America talks peace. Let's be peaceful, guys. Okay, it's all historical things, political things. Now let's not go for the political war-related problems. Many bad and bloodsheds are there. But the reason why I'm put that here is where the Agile came in. Why Japanese started thinking more Agile. You know that? The reason is after the Second World War, Japan went into a very crisis mode. There is no human resource to work. Many people died in the war. Japan also was not quite. Japan overplayed. That's why they had a trouble. Anyone make too much, they will have a trouble. Same thing one country is doing now. They will have a trouble in some time. So coming back here, crisis is very high in Japan. Now very high, what happened is you don't have a human resource. You don't have a spare parts and materials available. So this is a time, what they did is, let us not make a long-term plan. Let's do a short-term plan with the limited resource what we have. They have a less human resource. They have a less inventory. When both are less, let us not plan too much. Let's make a short-term plan, do this, and then we'll see how it is working, then add, then add, then add. Have you heard a Kaizen model? Kaizen?
Yes, Six Sigma.
So Kaizen came in. Have you heard about a Kanban, inventory management in Japan? That came in. There is something called PDCA. Have you heard about it? Plan, do, check, act.
Yes.
Yeah. This came in. So if you see most of the important factors of PDCA, Kanban, Kaizen, these all starting point is from Japan because after the Second World War, it was so economical. They were able to save more money. They were also getting more benefit out of it. By the time the Western world, how they lived is they were already looted in all the country, a lot of money with them. So they lived a lavish life. Anything they wanted, they demolish and construct because nothing their money, looted money. And their country also has a good natural resource. The land has a lot of natural resource. Both are there. So very happily spending money. When the end of the century came in, 2000 timeline, everyone got into a trouble. So you cannot spend so lavishly like in the beginning century because you cannot loot another country going forward. The looting system is almost over now. So if you want to really survive, you have to follow some model which is economical. So now what happened is all the Western countries started looking into a Japan model, what they do, how they survived. That's where now all the countries are picking up Agile. If you go back and read the history of last 300, 400 years, all the looted countries are into trouble now. Now they have to all somehow get it economical. So every country are getting into this. If you ask country like India, we are economical from the beginning itself. We don't know the wording of it, but you're using it already. But these guys know how to brand it. So history of whole system is now all the country are moving towards a system where they don't want to do lavishly. They cannot fail as a whole. They don't want to fail in the end. Rather, they do it in the front. That's what Agile came in. So now we start following into every industry that how can I understand the problem a little early, and we can restrict these problems so that I will not lose a lot of my money. That money is called as a sunk cost, S-U-N-K, sunk. Have you heard about a sunk cost? Money goes in, you don't come back. If you heard, well and good. If not, there is something called a sunk cost. It means if you put the money, it doesn't come back to you. It's gone. So many company has a lot of sunk cost. Now they don't want to do this. Now every company started adopting a way Kaizen model. How you improve as inch by inch moving forward. That's where we read this book. That's a little background. Okay. All right. Let's get into learning of Agile model. There is a short video. I'm going to play this. This video talks about iterative incremental. Before I play this video, let me listen from any of you here. What is your idea about the two words called iterative incremental, or in English, iterative incremental? Can somebody tell what is your thought about iterative incremental? What's the difference, or what is the meaning there? Can somebody try it out? Give a try.
Not sure whether I'm right, but just giving it a try.
Give a shot. Give a shot. If you tell it wrong, you will pay us $10.
Sure. So iterative means changes in a iterative fashion or in the incremental fashion.
Let's go one by one. Okay. I know you started well, really. You started well, actually. Iterative is incremental, talk later. Iterative, repeatedly, that you made it correct. What do you mean by that, repeatedly?
Iterative means the changes that comes frequently.
Changes. Okay. Repeatedly, you get the changes. Okay. Now I got the point. Very good. Nice. Any other?
It's my assumption. Sorry.
Assumption. That's okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong.
Yeah,
nothing wrong.
It's kind of plan, do, check, act, do it repeatedly. So we develop something incrementally.
Develop incrementally. Very good. So now you are connecting iterative with incremental.
Yes, Sriram.
Okay.
Unless this side. So iterative means doing again and again. So until the end customer got satisfied. For example, a kitchen. So I'm taking the same example what you taught us in PMP. So okay. So for example, if you're taking a kitchen modification, right? So until the housewife satisfies, until you reiterate the process again and again, until she gets satisfied. Yeah. So this is what.
That's right. I'll be a little careful here. Why only a housewife should be satisfied in a kitchen? Why not you? Should be anyone.
That's what end customer.
You have to be careful. Okay.
But Shriram, that is the one which makes her remember, right? The example that you gave, kitchen one. Still, I remember.
Yeah, you should be gender neutral. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, it's a man who's cooking more these days, rather.
When you start going to the bigger forum, you have to be very careful. Gender neutral. All right. Anyway, fun apart. Message here is he or she, whoever is going to access it, who is going to use this. I got the message. Imagine there is a modular kitchen. A lot of boxes are there, and you want an idea to do this, but when the customer X vendor is doing that, showing to you, sir, ma'am, do you like this place? You say no. This is a wooden finish. It's not really good. Can you do something like this more on this? So they collect the requirement from you, detail from you. Again, they tune it. When I say iterative, you can write in a paper correctness. If you have a white paper next to you, I assume you all have white paper. If you have a white paper pencil next to you, iterative equal to correctness. What do you mean by correctness? Until it meets the vision, until it meets the goal of what to be achieved. Until then, we start checking again. That's iterative. Now, what is incremental? Incremental is whenever something is completed, if it is deliverable, you start delivering top of that. I usually take this hotel example again. Incremental. In a hotel, if I go a la carte service, incremental. First, they give me the puppets and soup. Then they give the main course. Then they give desserts, ice creams, incremental. When this incremental delivery happens for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, my whole family completed the lunch. To do this incremental, the bearer comes and visits the table iteratively. Ma'am, the food is good. So the food is good. Spice is fine. Do you want anything more? The bearer would have visited my table at least 7 or 8 times. 8 iterations he would have visited, or I would have invited him, both the way, two-way. 8 iterations, we explain to each other what we want. 9 increments would have happened. 10 increments would have happened. 11 increments would have happened. 4 increments would have happened, right? So iteration increment can happen. Doesn't mean both has to have the same number, different number, isn't it? But message here is iteration is correctness. Until my family is happy for the lunch, the bearer visits few times to get the detail, correct the detail. And increment is until we complete what we want. Now, what is the word of increment? If you have a paper next to you, increment equal to speed. Iterative is correctness. Increment equal to speed. What do you mean by speed? Whenever something ready in the kitchen, I don't want to keep it in the kitchen in the hotel. 1, it will get cold. 2, my customers are hungry. So what is a meeting of a cold and hungry? Speed. Once the soup is ready, go and deliver it. Once a main course is ready, go and deliver it. Meantime, some feedback will come from the soup. Adjust it, add some salt and pepper on that. Next, main course. Next. So when you say iterative, it is correctness. When it is incremental, it is speed. Now let's play this video to see what they say. But do you see a meaning behind what I said, correctness and speed? Is it making some sense? Iterative is correctness, and incremental is speed. By the way, thanks a lot for the people from PMP. You still remember that example. Okay. Why market is moving with Agile is, these are 2 words are very fancy words, correctness and speed. Tell me, is there any CEO in the world who don't like correctness and speed? Or leave the CEO, take yourself. Will you not like something is correct and good in speed? Why some of us, not everyone, some of us like Amazon delivery. Do you like because of the correctness and speed in some cases? Of course, you also have compliance, but more than other delivery model in the market, Amazon is doing better delivery. Why? They're correct, faster. When the correct as fastness is there, people like it. I would have given more examples in classes. Bruce Lee was famous because of his correct punch with the speed. There are a number of people practicing judo, karate, but his correctness and speed is good. Usain Bolt is very famous for his correctness and speed. I gave another example. Michael Jackson is pretty famous on the stage because of his correctness on the steps and speed. Anything with the correctness and speed, people like it. That is why Agile is famous. Okay. Now let's watch this video. Here they explain how a waterfall model works, how a Agile works. Why we keep talking in the first chapter about this is, you have to get that mindset of Agile. Then only when I go and explain value delivery, people handling, adaptive planning, you will be able to connect it. That's why it's explanation happening. Let's play this video. I can see good chats in YouTube also. Thanks, guys. Keep up that. You are up to the trend. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. I didn't pull out the camera. Let's watch this.
If the requirements are not known or not clear, it adds to the complexity. And waterfall approach may not be appropriate for the complex projects. Before I go any further, let's start with this weird analogy. Assume a project is initiated to fill this pothole. If we know the exact dimensions of the pothole or the requirements are known, then the project phases can be sequential. It starts with the dimensions or requirements, design and prepare the mold, pour the concrete material, finishing of the block, and fill the pothole. Sequential and easy to manage, isn't it? This is called the waterfall approach. As we know, it works only if all the requirements are known and clearly understood at the beginning. If we don't know the dimensions of the pothole, then it becomes a complex problem. In this case, how to solve the complex problem when the requirements are not known at the start of the project? In the same example, assume you don't know the dimensions of the pothole. Therefore, you decide to chisel out the shape to fill the gap. You go on refining the shape by carving and cutting it over and over again. This is called iterative approach. You refine or iterate until you carve the block to perfectly fit into the pothole. Therefore, even though you do not know the dimensions or requirements, you could fill the gap with multiple iterations. This is called the iterative approach. Now, let us solve this complex problem in yet another way. You create a square block and deliver it to the customer. Customer places the square block in the pothole and gives you feedback. You create more incremental blocks based on the feedback and fill the pothole. If I name these blocks as increments, then this is called the incremental approach. Here, the customer does not have to wait till the end of the project. Customer can start using the increments and gives out feedbacks towards the completion of the project. Therefore, even though you didn't know the dimensions to start with, you could fill the gap with incremental approach. Another smart way of handling it when the requirements are unknown. Yet another scenario. Here, you have absolutely no clue how big or small is the pothole. In this case, you decided to deliver smaller bricks. With continuous customer feedback, you could send the bricks in appropriate size and shape. You also chisel out some of the bricks to fit them in the pothole. Therefore, these smaller deliveries are incremental as well as iterative. This is a smart approach when you have too many unknowns or unclear requirements. And this is called Agile approach towards solving the complex problem. Okay, with this weird analogy, isn't it easy to remember the concept? So, we have seen the waterfall approach, we have seen the iterative approach, we have seen the incremental approach, and we have also seen the Agile approach. Don't you think these visuals not only help to digest the concept quickly, but also help to remember it for longer? Now, let us summarize it with real-world example of website development project. When all the requirements are known and clearly understood at the beginning of the website development project, we can follow the waterfall approach. We execute the project phases in sequence and deliver complete functional website at the end. When the requirements are not known at the beginning, we can take the iterative approach. It starts with creating the website with very basic framework. We go on refining or chiseling out the website in subsequent iterations to deliver the final product. Iterative approach is all about refining the product through iterations until all customer requirements are met. Now, let us look at incremental approach to deal with complexity of unknown requirements. Here, we deliver functional website with few important features that the customer can start using. This is called the first increment. Then we go on adding the new features in the form of increments. It continues until the final product is delivered. This way, the final product is delivered through multiple increments. Now, let us look at the most preferred approach to deal with complexity. It is the Agile approach. Here, we deliver the smaller increments as well as refine the website through iteration. Here, the customer's feedback and change in requirements are adapted through multiple iterative and incremental deliveries. Iterations and increments continue until the final product is delivered. Due to this multiple delivery model, the project team can adapt to the changing requirements. Agile approach is the most preferred approach for the complex adaptive problems. And
all right. This explanation given here doesn't map with what we discussed a few minutes back or what you have thought in your mind. Is it going together? If it's happening, it's good. And some of us would have listened to this video before, some of us seeing it for the first time. I'm sure you got some clue what we are talking here, right? All right, good. I know we are top of the time. Being the first day, I don't want to push too much of content. A quick recap on certain things. So we started the day here. We are on day one. We started with what is PMP. We are getting into Agile principles and mindset. We have started with the mindset. We have to travel through all these segments, and then you will have all the books what to read. So now going forward, what will happen? Next week, our class starts with the day 2 and 3. We will talk mostly on the principles, Scrum framework, Kanban, XP, Lean, Agile. So next 2 days is going to be very interesting with a lot of framework and methods related information. Then we'll see how it is being used. That's a plan we are having here. And I believe the first day went well. You got some basic idea. Let's see each other if you're comfortable. And then people in the YouTube, thanks a lot for your participation. I can see active participation from Vikas, Ravinder, SK. Who else I have? Yeah, a few more people were chatting with me there. Nice, thanks a lot. And Lalit also there. So people have questions to be contacted. Rahul will give you a number there. You can reach out to him on that for any clarification. This is for the people in the YouTube. And people here participating, people sitting late in the night. Shirab. Middle night. Middle of the night after the class, it's pretty hard for you to sleep now since you sit 2-3 hours.
The morning now, it's almost 4 o'clock.
God, man. The milk vendor is knocking the door. Did you open the door? All right. Really appreciate that. I don't want to drag much more. Thanks a lot for everyone showing your interest here. Go ahead and sleep for the people who are late in the night. People have questions, you can stay around. We have a Q&A session for a few minutes to listen to you related to the subject what we discussed today or anything exam related. Please feel free to ask questions. Quick information, we just kickstarted today with the basics. We have to talk more in Agile going forward. All right. So people who want to take rest, go forward. Yes, thanks a lot for being here. Bye-bye to the people all around. And people have questions. You all feel free to ask.
I have one small question.
4 a.m. you ask question?
Yes, I do. Because it won't make me sleep. That last slide which you showed me just before that video, there is one umbrella, and in that umbrella you put that Agile in the top and Lean is in the bottom. Why so? Usually in the PPV we see that opposite.
You're talking this one, right? So there is no priority set here. I believe the guy who has written whatever comes to him. Okay, there's no difference. In office, sometimes you send an email. In a to address, you'll put a senior manager, junior manager, manager. That's not the way we follow here. Okay.
Okay.
It comes randomly on the face there, added it. But still, Lean is there from long centuries, not this year, 1940s. It is even before that it is there. But some of the methods are highly used. Those all grouped on the left side that I can see. Lean, Scrum, Kanban, extreme programming. These are highly used. This I can see grouped on left side. Right side, something is there which is not highly used. That I can say, but there is no up down to my feel.
Yeah, usually in the PMP we learn like Agile is come under that. Like Lean is a big bubble, and then Agile and all of them is coming under that, right? And the Kanban is a separate.
That's right. The circle, what you saw, you rightly mentioned it. But overall, what they are saying in the market is it's all Agile mindset. Agile is becoming like a philosophy. Like I said about a religion and a country related, Agile is becoming a mindset. But what you said is right. Lean is the birthplace of all. When I say Lean, Agile, we are talking from 2001. Lean is there from centuries. Lean is reduction of wastage. Unwanted process is a waste. Unwanted feature is a waste. A bug is a waste. Waiting time is a waste. Now, these all properly defined it. But Agile is a philosophy talking all about this. That's why they put us a bigger one. All right.
I guess
now you sleep happily. Oh man. I appreciate your passion. All right. Any other questions I can help out for the people here towards exam or subject?
Yes, Sriram, I missed in the one of the slide you mentioned 20 pre-test questions, something like that. I missed that the part. What is that?
You want to know what is that 20?
Yeah, where it will be?
Yeah, I can tell you. Benefit of all.
It's the beginning of
this one, right? This one. Yeah. So when we say exam has 120 questions, if you're aware, PMI-ACP exam has totally 120 questions, which you have to write in 3 hours of time, right? In this 120 questions, PMI Institute will place 20 questions. In this 120, they'll place 20 questions as pre-test. What it means by pre-test is they use it for research purpose. Imagine upcoming new exams, they want to use some questions. Their question bank strength, they want to increase. What they do is they plot some question to you. They will watch out how you are answering. Not only you, like you, there may be hundreds of people who will answer it. They will see how people are answering it. Based on that, they'll pick up this question. Purely research. We don't know what purpose they use. Our assumption is they use it for exam purpose. But a real exam question counted for you is 100. 20 is not counted. But to me, when I'm sitting in an exam hall, when I have 120 questions in front of me, I don't know which are those 20 questions. Okay. This is something confusing, right? You would have said, why PMI say this? You better keep quiet. Don't say to us. Now, this is confusing us, right? That's how some people feel it. But PMI want to follow the word called honesty. They don't want to do something without your knowledge. They have to tell you, we are giving this medicine to check is it working for you or not. So they openly tell that. That's why the pre-test questions.
Clear.
Hope that helps you.
Good. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, hi Sriram. This is Malish this side. Sriram, is there any situation question for ACP? Because as like in PMP, we do have a lot of situation. I think almost like 100% situation. But how about ACP end up?
What kind of answer will make you happy?
Just a curiosity, out of curiosity.
Your curiosity is right, but if my answer is going to be like all our situational questions, will you be happy?
I'll be more conscious about it.
You have to be conscious. ACP exams are always situational. Conceptual and situational. You will not see, or you may see one question, max in 2 question direct out of 120. So 118 or 115 questions will be conceptual situation. Nothing comes directly from the book. They never ask in Scrum, how many ceremonies are there? Product owner, what is his role? Nothing like that will come. Everything will be like a situation. They will tell there is a team, there is a person working on it, and this person not able to communicate well, their business details, what kind of role this person can play, kind of either the question will be big, answer will be small, or the question will be small, answer will be big. Somehow they write a story. So the reason for writing a story is they want you to think an answer rather recalling from the book an answer. They don't want you to recall an answer. So answer your question, yes, it is going to be situational. Okay. So what we do here for that reason, when you read the concepts, yes, you're going to learn properly, and you're going to practice the questions which we have in ShriLearning mock exams. We have 5 practice exams here, 120, 120, 120. You will practice it. Also, we have a lot of small tests. You'll go through that. We are expecting you to score 80% in the full exams in ShriLearning. 80%. The reason is I'm get the bar a little high, because when you hit 80%, when you go to main exam, it will be cakewalk and smooth. However, if you're already working in Agile on day-to-day life, you are a Scrum Master, you are part of Agile team, this exam looks easy for them. Somebody who does not work in Agile every day, you read about it, you know about it, you heard in your company, but you did not practice it, you have to read a lot and you have to get 80% in the practice exams. That's a message. Hope you got it. All right.
As what would be the pass percentage? I know it's not open.
Yeah.
Pack.
Yeah. We don't know the number yet, but I still feel they maintain the standard. Like when you cross in ShriLearning more than 75, 80%, you are good enough to clear in main exams. I could not comment the percentage of a PMI because since we don't know, but a person crosses a 75, 80 in ShriLearning, they are getting above target. If it is a 7 domain, they get at least 6 domains above target or all 7 domains. So it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So each domain they will have it about target, each domain?
Yeah, same like PMP. In PMP, we have 3 domains: people, process, business, environment, above target, above target, above target. Same way, 7 domains you will have. What are the 7 domains? You remember that? We saw that few minutes or hour back. Yeah, here it is. If you see 7 domains, do you see here domains? Team performance, above target, value driven delivery, above target. The color shows dark green, light green, target, above target. So 7 domains, they will evaluate it. 120 questions are divided from, that's why you saw percentage, right? Some minutes back, I would have shown you the percentage. Where is it? Here it is. The percentage. It's nothing but in 120 questions, you'll get all this percentage of question paper. When you hit all, you'll get it. I see some people get need improvement in 1 or 2 areas also. Still, they clear the exam. For example, other day I saw one person in stakeholder engagement need improvement. Agile principles, yes, you should be at least in target. Some of the areas they focus more. For example, value-driven delivery, agile principles, planning, problem detection. These are the areas they look at least you have to be target. If you get more of red color and yellow color, you are in trouble, obviously. So, but Sriram, how do I know this? While you practice, you know. When you take a ShriLearning test, small exams, big exams, 120 questions, 20 questions, 40 questions, you will see how it is. But comparatively, it is not as tough like PMP. It's moderate. That's a message.
Yeah, okay. Shriram, is there any format for the exam like in PMP, like 70, 80, 80, like that? Do we have that questions?
One shot. No, 1 shot, 120 questions. There is no break. You mean that exam taking time format?
Yeah, time format, please.
Yeah. There is nothing like specific, but I recommend people to split the exam into 2, 60 on 60. You can stop your exam after 60th question, go for a break, come back, start 61 question. So I would recommend you to divide the exam into 2, 90 minutes and 90 minutes. Totally 3 hours, right? 90 plus 90. So 90 minutes, take 60 questions, break, again another 90 minutes, or maybe 85 minutes. Usually the second slot, people go very faster. First slot goes very slow. I will talk when you come close to the exam more about this. But for now, keep in mind 120 questions you have to practice. All right.
And type of questions?
Objective type questions where choices will be A, B, and C and D. We don't have a multiple choice. We don't have drag and drop. We don't have true or false. We don't have fill in the blanks. Still PMI-ACP following the last 5 years of pattern.
All right. Good to know.
They didn't change, but no wonder they may change anytime because the PMI is changing all. You know that PMI got a new CEO now. PMI was not without CEO for last 8-9 months. The position was open. Somebody could have applied it, but before that they got another guy.
Yeah, okay. He recently cleared ACP. He had to prepare for PMP, it seems.
Yeah, I saw some posts from him. So before him, Sunil Prashar was there. When he came in, he brought a lot of changes. He brought a lot of advantage also for India and Africa. He introduced a lot of discounts. He introduced a lot of benefit for India and Africa because India, Africa, China are the most PMP taking people. India is the highest PMP taking in the world. So they gave a lot of discounts for people from India, but new CEO, new rules, everything will be new. It's something like government change, parliament changes. Hey, stop all the bridge project. Give every project to my uncle. Give it to my cousin. All over the world the same way. Let's see the new CEO what he is planning to do. All right, good.
Shriram, there's a mock link, right? There's a mock session in today. So, I mean, that does it have sense now because it's the first class? So we attend that. Do we attempt that and then come to the session? Does it make sense?
Thanks for asking it. Every Sunday, by the way, Priya, is it Priya, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's Priya.
What is the time zone now?
It's 6 p.m.
Okay, fine. Then you're safe.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I'm safe. Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Because what happened is this exam happens by India time 4 p.m. IST. What we do, 4 p.m. IST, we discuss. What happened is every Sunday we kept it as a Q&A session. What do you mean by Q&A session is we give a link for writing a test. You can do this anytime. It doesn't mean you have to come that time only you have to do it. You can do in the morning, late in the night, previous day. You can do anytime. But we kept that slot of Q&A session where we invite you to come there with some questions. Imagine you took a test yesterday and you found a couple of questions, you answered it, but still you're not happy with the answer. You can't understand the justification. Now you want to talk about it. So we have a forum for that. We have a place for that where you come up with a question. You'll show, hey, this is a question. You share the screen, show, this is a question I took, but I'm not happy with the answer. Can somebody explain? It is not only me, I have to explain all the time. Another person who is taking exam can talk about it. So you get a multiple viewpoints of how it is. Mostly I will be there to facilitate it, or I'll be the one to driving certain things there. So message here is you have a Q&A session. It is not mandatory that you have to take the test by the time. You can take it early also. But if you are in a time zone which is a fit in for you, I would request you to take the exam, join the Q&A. The reason is when you take the test, join the Q&A, you'll be pretty warm. What I mean by warm is you just took the test. Your brain is fresh about that. You can ask a question straight away. So you can participate. That's a message. Good. All right. Any more question? Anything from YouTube? All right. Fantastic, guys. So first day went well. We had a basic introduction. We understood what books to read. We saw something about the study plan. We understood about exam questions. We saw something on the subject. We didn't go so deep. We understood basics. Now the next week, we'll start getting deep inside. Before that, Naveen was asking some question. Yes,
yeah,
Naveen.
so just a small question. ShriLearning, do you suggest any book we need to start in parallel with the classes?
No go. No way. Without book, what you are going to do? You have to start. No way you can escape. From today, you have to start reading. After this session gets over, go have a cup of tea, come back and start reading. Okay. The book, what I recommend is Open Mike Griffith. Okay. Open Agile Practice Guide. If I'm you, I would pick up Mike Griffith to see the index, what all inside that. And then I'll take the classes, how it's going to happen. A PDF is given to you, class agenda. I'll have the class agenda in front of me. Each class, each subject, what book to read. I'll see that. Based on that, I'll open the book and start reading. This is the way I'll do. Okay.
Thank you.
So start the book with the Mike Griffith and start the book with the Agile Practice Guide.
Thanks.
Perfect. All right. Thanks a lot for everyone participating. Thanks to all the viewers here. Thanks for participants asking right questions, and have a great time. Good thing for your career is you stepped into Agile, which is highly in demand. That doesn't mean you will only mug up the book. What you read, go back to the office, see how people are following it. Since because you read it, don't overshow. Some people read something, ask the senior manager, hey, you know what is Scrum? You know what is this? Don't do that. Try to practice in your company so that you learn some of the mistakes. Come back next week in the class. You can share your thought process, what was working, what is not working. For now, enjoy your learning. Thanks for being here. Have a great Sunday. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shriram.
Thank you, Sridhar.